retired NYPD lieutenant, who is also with us. Joe, again, let's get to the big news of the night, this Instagram video. What do you make of that, Joe?
I have to agree with Ted to a large degree, because the language that they're using is not.
All right, chat. We live over here on Debate Nation. We are live over here on Debate Nation. If y'all want to join up, the link is in the on the community tab wall. I also have the link on the Debate Nation wall. I'm about to drop the link in the Discord now. Hold on. Everyone. Boom. All right, there goes the link. Boom. So if y'all want to join the panel with us, we live on Debate Nation right now.
Of
I see you, Big Niche.
That would say, please don't hurt her, please don't do this, please don't
hey,
do that.
Big Niche.
Apparently they're in control, they know it, and at this stage of the game, they have to play by the rules that are being set by whoever these persons are. So the investigation is going on from so many different aspects right now. They're still pinging the towers. They're still going back to that day. It's a desolate area. So they're not that desolate, but it's just not as congested as you would have in New York City. So it'll be a little easier to get the pings, on their phones. But, the message that's being sent tonight is a clear one. They want their mother back. That's the bottom line. They are a religious family.
Dang, so they saying that they want their mother back. I remember when she first went missing. I see you over here, Shell. I see you too strong. I remember when she first went missing. They were saying she had medication, and if she didn't get it within 24 hours, it could be fatal. Now we're coming up on like the third day, so it wouldn't be too out of pocket for something bad to have happened, unfortunately. Yeah, if y'all want to join the panel, the link is in the description, man. There goes the link right there. I got it in the Discord. Join up, man. Y'all join up. Trump said he's the least racist president, and we're going to talk about the midterms and the Nancy Guthrie case taking a turn. I'm going to finish this clip while I wait on some people to load up.
You know that from the prior, talks about this and everything. They expected her at church. Savannah's, big into her faith. And this.
No, Dorsey, you got to join the panel. I don't take phone calls when I make the panel. It's either or. Let me tag you in the damn Discord, Dorsey. I know I got to get Dorsey his link straight to him. All right, Dorsey, I tagged you. You got your link right there, Dorsey. Shell, this clip got a couple minutes left, then we'll hear from.
Plays in time, they want their mother back, and I'm not going to be the one to play under any conditions, but it's getting pretty dire as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and Joe, I just want to point out to our viewers, as we look at you screen right there, and now look at me, on the left of the screen, that is live pictures from one of our drone cameras. Two sheriff's vehicles, as we understand it, have just shown up at Nancy Guthrie's house. We don't know what their purpose is. It may once again be simply a traffic control kind of measure there. We don't know if any sheriff's deputies are heading back.
I never thought about that 10-4, the cartels having her. I never thought about the cartels having her, but I do know that they had a Bitcoin address that was dropped off, that they were investigating that Bitcoin address, but that does make sense. Where is she at? Oh, in Tucson, Arizona? Yeah, it could be the cartels got her. I ain't gonna care.
Onto the property, and if they are going to be joined by any FBI agents at this point. But Joe, talking of the sheriff's department here, how do you see the investigation having played out so far? Obviously, as the sheriff here, Chris Nones, has admitted himself, he is.
Jared, you gotta allow your camera and your microphone. You gotta allow it, then cut your camera off. I can't bring you to the stage till you allow your camera and your microphone.
Open to some Monday morning quarterbacking. Do you think he's done everything to the best ability here, or do you see the real need for the FBI to take control of all of this?
Oh, there's a clear path for the FBI to take this. I mean, this isn't a large department. I'm sure they've never seen anything like this before or handled anything like this before. The FBI has, in New York City we have, and we have the resources for this.
All right, Dorsey, I seen you send me your friend request on Discord. I tagged you in the link. You should be able to click the link and come up here. Jared, welcome to the stage, man. We almost done with this clip. Then we're going to hear from you, Jared.
Welcome, everyone. Good to hear from you guys.
Man.
Secured from day one and not let anybody in there, not the press, anybody.
They said they found some type of wired device on top of this lady's house as well.
Photos of, the blood stains or anything. And that's for a reason. You have to maintain the integrity of that crime scene. Ted can tell you that. We've done it a million times. And it's not that you can't go back. You go back, but you have it under conditions that are controlled where nobody else could have gone inside, done anything. And then you have a roster of who came, what time, what they did, and what was retrieved. And the FBI can lay that out very clearly. Department that doesn't have the capacity to do that. They also have the state police that could come in. But, that area should have been secured. And, like I said, it's not Monday morning quarterback, and it's dealing with a department that's never had anything of this on this scale.
It's crazy out there in Tucson, man. All right, Shell, welcome to the stage. Jared, welcome to the stage. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Doug.
I'm doing pretty good.
Man, all right. We're going to give Shell the floor right quick. You said you had a pretty interesting story, Shell. What you got for us?
Okay. Well, I thought you would be interested to know that I attended my first protest this last week. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, I have been pretty much a lifelong Republican, I'd say. And yeah, so that definitely happened this last week, and it was right south of Chicago. And yeah, it was great, actually. I'm very proud of myself.
Okay. Was
So-
it peaceful? Was it pretty cool
Oh.
out there? How was it? Describe it for us.
I got to tell you, it was extremely peaceful. There's a lot going on here in like the whole northern Indiana area. There is, and it kind of stems off of something I heard while I was just listening. I was just getting ready tonight because I got church in the morning. But something that was going on in the debates that you were playing. So they were talking about monopolized utilities. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys listening in are like, dang, yeah, my utility bill, I hate it. Well, there's something going on here. Excuse me. There's a company here called NIPSCO, which is like a Northern Indiana utility company, right? And it is a monopolized utility for the majority of our region, all right? And it stems off of something that is going on in a lot of areas of the country. And if it's not happening in your area, then it could likely happen, especially if you only have one company for which you can get your gas and electric. And simultaneously, this is the key, they're trying to come into your state or area to put in AI data centers. Okay, this is like two things.
Let me speak to that, Shell. Little Rock just got approved for a $7 billion data center. $7 billion data center. There are monopolized utilities throughout regions of Arkansas, energy. Some places, like you get to some of those areas, they have like City Electric or a different company, but those are like spread out. Like you might see one here, you might see one there. More than likely, most people are going to be using Entergy. Just being honest.
Okay. So here's what happened, and keep in mind, what I want you to know, and this is super key. Okay. And I've said this on your platform before, and when I first came onto the platform, I, of course, during the election, what I was definitely more on the supporting Trump, right? Since then, you have noticed that I've changed my stand, not like changed all of my, but that I have literally said I have not agreed with a lot of the decisions that he's made, right? I'm a very straightforward, honest Midwestern person. Okay. I'm very blunt. Okay. And if you see something that's wrong, you say that it's wrong. I will not stay blindly in one category. That's moi. That's me. Okay. And in this particular situation, what I've noticed, all right, is that both sides hate us. Okay. They hate us. They will play both sides to keep us distracted from what they're doing. And that's what we are seeing here. So NIPSCO got approved for an $8.3 billion contract for 14 data centers to be built in our region. Now, something you need to understand about AI data centers is that it's not just the money, okay? It's also what the data centers do physically to the land. Okay, which is why they don't put them near cities generally. Okay, that doesn't mean that they won't put them near a populated. They won't put them near.
Hold on, Shell. Hold on, man. I got the audio messed up. You can keep talking, but I'm gonna box myself up. Keep going.
Okay. It doesn't mean that they will not put them near a populated area. It doesn't even mean even here that they won't put them near schools. They won't put them near residential areas. They will. They're not. They don't care. Okay. What these AI data centers do is they will pollute the groundwater. Now, they also emit they'll emit like sound waves, like EMF radiation to some degree, but they require clean drinking water to cool themselves. Now they can put data centers in and they can self-cool, right? They can put systems in to self-cool, but that's too expensive, darlings. That's just too expensive to have an internal cooling system. They're not going to invest in that. They're going to suck up the groundwater or cooling ponds, lakes, they'll do that. Because that's cheaper. And then once the clean drinking water goes in, then they'll just pump out the polluted drinking water back out in to where eventually we bathe in it, we drink it, whatever. And then cancer rates spike within anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 years, and people get sick and they die. And that's what happens. And I would say allegedly for your stream, but there's really no allegedly about it, because the AI centers that they've already put up, especially in northern Indiana and around the country, these just are factual statistics. Okay. So basically the 8.
I got a question real quick. What part of Indiana are you from? Fort Wayne, South Bend?
No,
You said northern Indiana.
I'm in northwestern Indiana. So I'm about, I live about maybe, I could get to Fort Wayne and maybe, well, my driving, or do you want to?
Hey, Jared, I think you got your mic a little bit too close to your mouth. You might just have to back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here you go.
Is that better?
I could get to Fort Wayne in maybe an hour and a half or so.
Okay.
I'm not far from Fort Wayne, and I live right in between Indianapolis and like
Dorsey,
Okay.
you got a question for Shell? Go ahead.
Yeah.
So
You was aware that Trump got rid of the EPA commission and so forth. You know that, right?
well, I haven't gotten to any. Listen, Dorsey, don't come at me right now. I'm not even to that point where I'm about to tear into him. So I do not need the alley-oop. I'm about to dunk this crap. Okay.
Yeah, she was in the middle of something. Can we let her finish real quick? I kind of interrupted her, Dorsey.
Don't worry, Dorsey. I got this one. I got the 8 ball.
All
right, Dorsey. I thank you though. So basically, the data centers will poison this groundwater, and so basically what Dorsey is saying is that we are how do I keep this, Jesus? Okay, so and this isn't even the Trump administration. This is also local government. So this matters who you vote into as your commissioners, your Senate, your everything. Okay, because what happened in the state of Indiana here, okay, is that the people that we voted into our Senate and our state legislature went through, and this is also where I said both sides hate us, because and Dorsey, bear with me here. This started with the Green New Deal. Okay, so it's kind of like again, both sides hate us. Okay, so it started with this. At least in here in Indiana. Okay, so everything that was left over from the Green New Deal, the laws that were changed, things that were set into motion from that. Okay, the law it set everything into motion for what is happening here. Okay, so then when this administration got into office, they flipped it. So here in the state of Indiana, and I've talked about it on this podcast with Plug, I said what they are doing is that they are getting rid of our farmland, and they're putting in wind turbines. They're putting in, tons. I mean, we're talking miles and miles and miles and miles of solar panels. So we can't grow corn. Okay, they're filling it with metal. All right. And this is prime agricultural land because they're bankrupting farmers to where they feel like they have to fill their land with metal. And then it also fries the land to where even if you took the panels out, it's no longer the same land. Okay. The ground is not the same. You'd have to dig up all the ground and then try to put fresh ground on, but it's not. Okay. So anyway, so then we lead into this. Okay. Then we have this administration come in and they're like, oh, well, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to invest in AI, which was now going to pollute the water and then bankrupt its citizens. So what they did is change the laws so that now they're like, in the state of Indiana, which could be the same in the state of Louisiana, Plug. So this is what I want you to look for. Okay. Is the states that want this AI and these data centers so bad is they have to make your state look very appealing. Okay. It's like going on a date. You got to make yourself look so good in order for them to want you. Okay. In the state of Indiana, Louisiana, wherever, they're like, we'll make this deal look so good that we'll give you this $8.3 billion contract. And then we will write within the law that you can recoup the fees. We won't even make you pay the $8.3 billion. Okay. So NIPSCO, you can recoup the $8.3 billion and however you see fit. It's in the contract. We've read it. Okay. So what NIPSCO says is we're a monopolized utility. So what we're going to do is we will just charge our customers any way we see fit to recoup our $8.3 billion because they said we don't have to pay for our 14 data centers that's going to pollute and give cancer for generations and generations. We don't have to. We don't have to because they said we don't have to.
Okay. Well, let's hear from Dorsey, Shell. Let's hear from Dorsey too. We want to hear from a couple of other panelists. I'm gonna let you finish though. Then we'll move the panel.
Okay. Okay. So you want me to talk about the cash center?
I'm gonna have to go. I have to leave. So just you can message me on the back end or whatever tomorrow. It's 1 a.m. here and I have to leave. So
okay. All right. So I'm gonna send you a message in Discord. If you got some links, you can shoot them to me in Discord so I can research and do a full video about it.
Absolutely. Yep. I absolutely will. All right. Good night, y'all.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. It's good to hear from you.
Yep. You too. Thank you.
Good night, Cheryl. Nice meeting you.
All right.
Good night, y'all.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night. Okay, Plug. So we're not going to talk about the data centers and so forth in Indiana, huh? Because she left, right?
We could talk about data centers. Period. Like I said, Little Rock just got a $7 billion data center coming there. We if you got some information, go ahead, lay it on us.
Okay. Now understand this: these data centers, people be like, why do you need so many data centers? They're preparing for the Neuralink people. There's feedback that goes along with that Neuralink, and those data centers are the ones that go ahead and act as buffers. So when there's an increase as far as Neuralink peak population, those data centers are able to compensate for it and without the feedback and so forth. Read into the technology and then go into a little bit more depth into it.
No, I believe what you're saying to be true in a certain sense. It's not just about the neural link, it's about everything being connected. It's about the singularity. Humans connected to all electronics, connected to the information. It's just going to be a complete, they call it the hive mind, almost like how ants or bees work together. That's what they're trying to put humans on, that type of system.
In other words, it's the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's the Matrix. I mean,
Yeah, Black Mirror is also kind of a good example.
Hold on, Jared. I don't know why your mic is so loud. I don't know. Let me hold on. Cut your mic on, Jared. Cut it on. I'm gonna get it right for you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Let me put it down more. Better?
Yeah, turn it down a little bit. It's just like you gotta turn.
Okay. All right. This is as low as I can go. Is
All right.
this
Now
good?
you said, yeah. Now you said what about the mayor?
No, because he was darn. I have short-term memory. Like, go ahead and keep talking, and I'll come back to it.
okay. On that note, basically and so forth, they're bringing in all these data centers and so forth per state. And what they're doing is they're filtering through all information, texts, phone calls, everything. You remember that supercomputer they built up in the Dakotas? I think it was North Dakota. You remember that's during Obama administration?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're enhancing it, meaning that they're adding nodules. You know how you would have a main something and then you add nodules to it, so to collect and capacitors and stuff like that. That's what they're doing, and it's to compensate so that it won't be feedback when you're going ahead and doing your Neuralink. And I really wish to know what's the physical thing on you when it does back up. You know how when your computer does that little circle continually when it's stalled out?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
So what if you know how sometimes you go fuzzy in the mind when you was thinking about something and then for whatever reason you didn't eat or it was hot and then you got that fuzzy zone for about 3 seconds and then you catch your thoughts again. I think that's what it's going to be like. You're going to have a fuzziness. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Let's hear from Jared.
What I was gonna say is I remember now. It was off of what Dorsey was saying, but it's like Black Mirror almost. That's a pretty good example. I don't know if you've seen the show on Netflix. It's called Black Mirror, and it's basically pretty much everything is all on one device. You connect it to the side of your head or whatever, and then you have this stupid little remote, and it records everything from your pulse to your. It's a really good series. I think you should check it out. It's called Black Mirror, and that looks to me more like what we are running into, as opposed to any other. That's where I see us going, which is part of the what do you call it? The chip that they're going to try to do use the Neuralink. Exactly.
No, I've seen Black Mirror.
It's pretty much the same thing, and they're pushing it, and they're gonna accomplish it eventually. That's why we got so many different ways that they're doing it, like with the Neuralink. But like Dorsey said, they need a big amount of power and enough power to charge.
Elon's already said it's a bandwidth problem. Basically, once they get the bandwidth taken care of, they can mass produce it, get everybody. This was years ago. It was a bandwidth problem.
Let's
move on though. Let's move on. We can talk about
the board they talking about, homie.
The Nancy Guthrie case. So how are y'all feeling about this case right here we were just listening to with Nancy Guthrie?
Grandma dead, nigga. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I do believe she's not here anymore, but why? Somebody put it out there that it could be the cartels, since they are in Tucson, Arizona. What are y'all thinking about that?
I believe that somebody was an opportunist. They knew grandma was by herself, meaning she was vulnerable. And also, they knew that with the lack of security and the lack of cameras and so forth around the house, has to be somebody who's close to the family, probably a drug addict that they didn't know was having going through some shit. That's what I figured. I think it's an inside job, if you ask me.
Okay, well, only reason I did too, I thought it was an inside job at first, but then they said they found some kind of device on the roof, like so maybe maybe they've been under surveillance. Maybe it wasn't just such an inside job. Maybe they had something done on the house or somebody slipped in. They did say that they have, people who work in and out of the house and things like that. So I thought that was a good lead. But then as of today, they said they found some sort of device on top of the house. So maybe she had been under surveillance.
Yeah, but see that I think that's some Mickey Mouse shit. You don't let people know that there's device and shit because that device is probably linked on some bandwidth or wavelength to a control somewhere where they can go back and track it. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like back when in the war you used to be able to track an enemy's radio back to a tracking station by triangling it and shit. Like they got OJ. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that kind
Tissues.
of
Hold on, Dorsey. Tissues. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mom. Dorsey believes that she's no longer with us. I also believe she's no longer with us. We haven't heard from Jared whether he believes she's no longer with us. Go ahead, Dorsey.
So I look at it like this. I say the culprit is about anywhere from 30 to 45 years of age, and basically because that's what most people are comfortable with. You don't let no young buck come up in your house, climb up on your roof. You usually trust a professional, somebody who's.
You cut out, Dorsey. Yo, Jared, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Dorsey cut out. His mic does that sometimes. He'll probably have to come back. Give your thoughts and opinions.
Okay, the problem is that's what I was trying. I was trying to look up the story because I didn't really get to.
Okay.
I was joining the what do you call it? The panel while you were playing the story, so I
Okay.
don't even know what the story is.
Okay, well, I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay.
I'll give you my thoughts. So the reason Dorsey said 30 to 45. So I'm going to go with the little younger age group. I'll say from 25 to 40. And the only reason I say that is because of how they wanted the payment in Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying someone a little older wouldn't ask for that payment in Bitcoin, but it's just the device on the roof, the payment in Bitcoin. It's just seeming more just a younger just
somebody with a lot of tech knowledge, basically.
Correct.
Not some 80 or 90-year-old granny, pretty much.
Or not someone who just wants to strong force unalive the woman. This was a snatch and grab, and they wanted a payment for it. This was a kidnapping, and they wanted the payment via Bitcoin.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even
And
know.
the woman that was snatched is her daughter is a news anchor that has been interviewing a lot of the Epstein victims.
Oh wow!
So yeah.
Well,
yes, the woman is missing. The woman is missing's daughter is everybody knows that Savannah Guthrie. She's the one that was she interviewed quite a few of the Epstein victims, at least 2 full interviews.
I think she was the only one that they would allow or something like that. Is that true? I mean, I don't really know if that's true.
I don't know about that part. I just know that she did 2 very powerful interviews, and now here after the Epstein full files drop, her mom's kidnapped. for a Bitcoin ransom.
And then a Bitcoin ransom. Well, that could be either one or two things.
Another thing I heard
She,
too
like
is
you said, she might have did it herself, but so she can get the insurance payout as well as the Bitcoin back.
I don't think she did it herself. Only reason you saying the daughter or the OG lady did it herself, the 84-year-old.
I think that the grandma helped, but not like helped.
Not at this time. The reason I don't think, because it's the FBI is involved, everybody's involved. If it was some sort of shit like that, I think it would have been some communication that came out. What I believe it has to do with the Epstein files. It has to do with a lot of shit, because another thing that came out, and it's more of a theory, a CT. You know what I'm saying?
Was she a
Hold on, let me finish.
what do you call it? Go ahead.
They're saying that the first purchase with Bitcoin. Do you know what the first purchase of Bitcoin was?
No.
It was pizza. Now they're trying to say Epstein is in connection with it.
Yeah, that's not wow. Pizza?
Listen, yes, that was the first ever purchase. That was, supposedly the first purchase that was pizza. So listen.
Well, I mean, I know what that means. Yeah.
So listen. Now the ticker for Bitcoin is BTC. They're saying that it's baby trading coin. That's what the original.
I kind of think I saw a meme about that.
Right. So that's what's going through Reddit right now. They're all deciphering that and adding it up, lining it up with the files and shit. So I just thought that was, a good piece of information to bring. Go ahead.
Okay. No. But basically, I passed it off to whoever just came back in.
Go ahead, Dorsey.
Because while I want to review a couple of things here, real quick. Let Dorsey. He likes to. He's got a good. What do you call it? Stamina. He'll give me a second to research a couple of. Is there any item you'd like me to research real quick?
I'll drop it in the back chat, Jared. I'll drop it in the back chat.
Okay.
Or chat. If y'all got anything y'all want us to fact check or pull up, man, drop it in the chat. Go ahead, Dorsey.
Okay, so I would just like to step aside and not step aside, but I would like to mention something else. I was trying to call you because I wanted to let you know about Mayor Villaraigosa. He was the mayor of Los Angeles back in the mid 2000s decade, 2010, like that, right? He was investigated by the federal government because of his brother, who was a cartel member, who was a large scale. They also suspected Villaraigosa of laundering money on behalf of his brothers and the cartels here in America. So he was under investigation, and they let him slide. I think that was under Bill Clinton, and then later on Obama. So they let him slide, and he opened up Los Angeles to a flood of third world people. Let's just say it like that, because I can't say they was all Mexicans. Salvadorian, Guatemalans, people from Nicaragua. What happened is he established what is called economic zones. And these was like city blocks where they could go out and sell their possessions, like a flea market or like a garage sale. So these people used to take up the whole sidewalk with their shit, and they would go ahead and hustle up the money because they couldn't get no job because, they was undocumented. So this was their side hustle, right? So that sustained that neighborhood and so forth in support of the illegal immigrants, the ones who migrated here undocumented and who didn't go through the right procedures to occupy the space here in America. So then what happened is when Karen Bass became mayor recently, like 3 years ago, she ensaved the same program, but on the whole city where they could open up taco stands. This was during COVID. So that there was an open air food market. So these people was making thousands of dollars. a
Right.
week.
They provided a service that was needed at the time. Before you keep going, Dorsey, everybody, I need you to subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If you're on the Plugsation channel, head over to the Debate Nation channel. I dropped it in the chat. Be sure we're trying to get to 100 likes as well. So I need y'all to hit the like button. Go ahead, Dorsey. You said Karen Bass had an open air market and they was making thousands.
Yeah, making thousands of dollars. Then later on, when the new flood of immigrants came in under the Biden administration, because remember COVID was doing Trump, right? So when the little troops came over under the Biden administration, they saw the same thing. So then they start opening up uh, little taco stands and barista. Because if you came to LA, I could show you for myself. I would show you where they occupy. Man, these people are out here repairing cars out here on the streets. I mean, replacing transmission. They like camped out in front of the AutoZone on the side street. And you would just pull your car up. If you got your oil and your filter, they'll go ahead and change your oil for you. Right? They got the jacks, everything. They got everything in vans and trucks, right? Whole ass motherfucking truck of tools. Anything you need done to your car, they can do it. You understand what I'm saying? So they got this little economy going on that we don't know about. That's letting them people live in these $2,200 a month apartments here in Los Angeles. And I ain't got no problem with them because every time I see them, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, homie. Go on, do your thing. And that's what we need to start realizing. Look, man, we used to have, in Arkansas, don't y'all have shade tree mechanics?
Yeah.
Okay, so
but they're
there
not
was
outside the AutoZone parked on the road doing that shit by the AutoZone. That shit ain't going on.
No, these motherfuckers is right outside the gate, homeboy. They ain't no shame in the game. If I could video it and then I'll send you a clip. And they do this shit every day, Sunday through motherfucking Saturday. And I'm telling you, these people have established their own community, and whether y'all like it or not, they not going nowhere unless they.
In Arkansas, we got like mechanics where you can pull up at their house or you got a mobile mechanic, but nobody's doing repairs in front of the AutoZone or
Man, these niggas was doing the shit at the AutoZone. I can tell on motherfucking Sherman Way and motherfucking Canoga. Right across the street from motherfucking Carl's Jr., which was selling 99-cent chicken sandwiches. That's why I was there. When I went there for the 99-cent chicken sandwiches, they did their promotion for about like 6 months. I was eating 99-cent chicken sandwich. So every day I would go over there and I'd be looking at them. I'm like, God damn, they doing BMWs, they doing Volkswagens, they doing Toyotas, Hondas, whatever make of your car, they know what they doing. I'm telling you, man, they got a van full of number chrome tools, bro.
Okay.
So not only are they providing a service to their own people, because that's the only motherfuckers who gonna trust them to fix on it. You know, you only gonna trust your own people to fix on your shit, right? So they got that little thing going on, word of mouth and so forth, you know. And then they also got the food service thing locked down. But my whole thing is there's no health inspectors coming and checking this shit, right? Now we talking about traffic is going through not more than 4 feet from where they cooking, right? So we know dust and shit is all everywhere. So I'm wondering, like, how many people get, like, you know, food poisoning or sick, you know, from the lack of health.
Everybody on the Plugsation channel, y'all head over to the Debate Nation channel because I'm about to end this live on Plugsation. So head over to the Debate Nation channel, man. Go ahead, Dorsey. What about the other candidates? Did you know any of the other candidates up there?
Yeah, my boy Stern. What's his name? Tim. Is it Tim or Stern?
I think.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Plug. But I'm gonna send it to you through what do you call it? Discord.
Okay, what's the question?
No, it's a message about what you just said about close stream. I'll message it to you.
Okay. Go ahead, Dorsey. I think you're talking about Tom, the guy with the blonde hair.
Right. If you look back during Trump's first term as president, he was running TV ads saying that he totally disagreed with what Trump was about. He said the motherfucker was a con man. All you got to do is go back and look at someone. He was the ones who paid for this shit. He was out there openly saying Trump ain't shit. You can't trust him, and he was doing this during his first presidential term. I remember who the dude is because he was running the ads out here in California. You understand where I'm coming from? So, I mean, maybe he was doing that for California. Maybe he was doing it nationwide. I don't know. But I do remember him sitting up in his chair with his fireplace, and he was, you know, he had on his sweater, and he was telling Trump ain't no good. You can't trust him. And he was running ads on a regular basis, about maybe 3-4 times a day. I remember seeing his ads. So, I mean, you have to understand, man. These billionaires, they ain't sitting around just twiddling their thumbs. They like, okay, we finna divvy this shit up. You know, we gonna be the ones who save the people, or we gonna be the one who enslave the people. Which one you want to be? Enslaved or saved? Your choice. So that's what's really going on, and they're making some political moves because they know that it's gonna be a free for all. There's gonna be when Trump leaves, there's gonna be a power vacuum. I mean, ain't nobody gonna be able to fill his shoes. You understand what I'm saying? There'll never be another Trump. There'll never be another Hitler.
Oh
There'll
no,
never
never.
be another Abraham Lincoln. There'll never be another Joseph Stalin. There'll never be a Tito. There'll never be a Franco. There'll never be dictators and warlords like this. Hey, man, you can't say that Trump ain't no warlord, nigga. The nigga Bob, he dropping bombs on Iran, trying to hit their nuclear facilities. He dropping bombs in Venezuela. He kidnapping leaders and so forth, using ultrasound waves and shit to make people sick and shit and bleed out their ears. Man, that nigga is using every trick in the book to do what he got to do to make sure that everybody understand that this is Trump. This is Trump's world. And he got
Corey,
it
well, I
all.
can't watch the video right now. What you said, Jared? Oh, Corey, well, I can't watch the video right now, man, or I would. But y'all know my laptop a little. You know what I mean? I gotta get a new one when we get this YouTube check. But yeah, I see it. About that snuck on the Epstein Island. I see the video, Corey.
To be honest with you, man, I just think that Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and I leave it at that. Shit, he done did every damn thing, perverted. He done did all kind of shit, killing people needlessly, not taking. I mean, man, the nigga called us monkeys, nigga. How you gonna? he called
Yeah,
Obama.
that was what do you call it? That was a bad move on him. I'm just still wondering. I'm just still wondering if it was him or if it was one of his.
It don't matter. See, as a black person, Jared, I don't know if you black or not. I can't tell by your picture, but as a black person, it really don't matter because they gave him a chance
to Puerto Rican.
It or say he doesn't align with those values, and he just said like, "Shit, no, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do nothing wrong."
No, so I agree with you. That's when
let me finish. As a black American, when he says I didn't do anything wrong, we understand that other people might think that when he makes that statement, he means I didn't mean to post it. I didn't watch the whole video. But as a black American, when he says I didn't do anything wrong, it means the shit. what the fuck is wrong about what I said? Like, yeah, them niggas is monkeys. It is what it is.
Woo, 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 woo. Chungo, motherfucker. Chungo. That's what he called it. All
Welcome
right.
to the
So he
stage,
called it
Tissues.
chungo.
Welcome to the stage.
What's good, family?
Not much, man. We was just giving our thoughts and opinions. We covered the Nancy Guthrie case. We talking about midterms. We watched some of the California governor debate, and we're talking about Trump doubling down on the racist post. He's saying that a staffer did it, but they gave him a chance to, you know, apologize or condemn it or even say his values just don't align with that, and he chose to do none of those. And I made a statement that if it was another community, you know which specific community, that he would have definitely condemned it and would have went crazy. Even outside of that specific community, if it was, you know, just, you know, anybody, you know what I'm saying? Regular white people. If it would have been some racist shit against white people at the end, he would have condemned it. He would have said he doesn't align with that. But specifically because it was niggas, he just didn't care. It didn't matter.
Yeah, basically, it's just he's trying to rage bait us again. That's all he ever does. And the messed up part about it, you get these fake people online. What happened? He didn't really do nothing. Oh, you guys are white. Like, just like what you said, if it was any other group, it would have been some kind of media, some kind of outrage, some kind of post. If it was anti-Semitic, just think all kinds of legislation that would have got passed for all this nonsense. But instead, because it's us, who cares? Get over it. Stop playing victim. Nobody's playing victim. These people are purposely trying to poke the bear, keep on messing with that person. And then when you finally react, oh, you're playing victim. No, this plays, Trump was playing victim when he was whining about the feds and whining about court, when he's whining about getting over Epstein. He's playing victim. It's like, it's just the hypocrisy that these people live by. It's just unbearable. But anyway, floor is yours, bro.
What I will say is that, how can I put it? Yes, they are trying to rage bait us. They are trying to get, you know, the black people out there. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to gather my thoughts as to actually what's going on. Like, go
Shit,
ahead.
he being real. Shit, he telling y'all exactly how he feel. He an old ass rich white man. Nobody's scared. He untouchable. So he feeling his nuts and he's saying, "Fuck it, I'll just say whatever I feel like." And he chuckling behind the seat with the rest of his people. Look, and they taking our patience and y'all patience and y'all, you know, y'all tip. He's saying, "Look at how cowardly they are." See, that's how they take that shit. They don't take us like, oh well, they're look how restraining and disciplined they are, and whoop whoop whoop. No, they take it as cowardice. So then that emboldens them to do more shit, just like a schoolyard bully.
Correct.
So
They're not, they just like we're online looking around, they're online looking around. Just like we in these panels and chats, they in these panels and chats. And a reoccurring theme over the last couple of weeks has been everybody's been asking, when will y'all be mad enough? When will it become y'all's problems? When are
you put your hands
hold on,
us,
let me finish, Dorsey. Damn. When will it become a problem? When is the black community gonna come out? When are y'all gonna say y'all have had enough? I've had people call in and ask me that. And what did I say? Black people will know when the time is ready. And now they're listening to those answers, they're listening to those conversations. And what's going on? Rage baiting. Why? Because it's not fitting the narrative. Everything is left this, left that. The lefts are insurrecting. The left is being, as soon as the moment black people step out in droves and do these things, it's going to be George Floyd 2.0. We told you y'all niggas is going to tear up everything. And all the leftist shit is out of the window. And it's going to be the blacks don't know how to act.
What spoke to me though, when I was on your live, I was on your podcast. What was it, about a couple days ago? I think it was a cat named Steve. What made me wake up is one of our Latino brothers. He's the one that was saying now's the time to abolish ICE and get at ICE, but don't focus on police brutality. This is what I'm talking about. It's like now's the time to talk about police brutality and all the other stuff, all the other atrocities that we go through now, because now they can finally see or act like they have empathy for some of the stuff that we're going through because they're going through it right now. So now's the time to actually speak up about this. Now's the time to actually speak up about that, because other than that, when will they actually pay attention? And what really got me about what Steve was talking about, no, now's not the time. We need to focus on this. But do you see how they want to keep on having us put our needs, our obstacles that are in our way that must be solved on a back burner nonstop for all these other people while we help out and assist with this and that? But mind you, once we do assist with this and that, will they come back and help us with police brutality again? No. So that's what I'm saying. It's like now's the time to use all of this nonsense to focus on police brutality and show them, okay, if you're so mad about how ICE is doing this and how this is, man, you know how long this has been going on with the police. So can we do something about both? You know, so
So
that's
this is what I'm gonna say. We got Adam in the chat saying, "Why are all the chimps chipping out?" And this is what we mean by this thing. Like, how can you say, "Oh, it's just a joke," or "He didn't mean anything," or "It was an accident, he didn't do it," and then you have a base of people that are gonna use those excuses, come in here and say the same thing, or say, "Oh, I thought it was funny," or "It's not a big deal." Those are the same people that are calling us chimps. Those are the same people who, come from I'm gonna call it what it is, a lineage that's used to posting black propaganda against blacks. Let's just be honest.
honestly, I don't let stuff like that get to me though, because it's like,
I don't either, but
yeah,
I can address it. I don't let it get to me, but I do address it.
honestly, who looks like the chimp? Chimp has no
Hey,
lips.
that's
Like
exactly what the fuck I was gonna
that's why I
say.
was like, I don't really let that
Exactly.
stuff. It's like all these people are ignorant people, because it's like when they don't have nothing factual back to say, that's what they do. They're just like a toxic person. You know, when you have nothing factual to say back to a person, what do you want to do? You want to degrade the conversation. You want to say nonsense, insults to get somebody to react to your little play, little kitty, your little kitty mindset. So that's what's going on. Just don't react to these dummies. Honestly, if you want to keep them for views, cool. If not, who cares? Because they don't phase nothing. They ain't gonna rock nothing. Because guess what? In real life, in real person, these people won't say nothing to you. They're too scared. That's why they do it online. So I don't care about these people.
Check this out, plug. In the '70s, we had to go through that shit. Whereas we were able to go ahead and go into places and so forth. And I was at the state fair, right? So I went into the men's room and so forth. You know, I was about 13 at the time, minding my business, right? So I'm up here in the urinal. Motherfucker slapped me on the back of my back, right? Hey, boy, how you doing and shit, right? A teenager, right? So, it jostled, almost pissed on myself when he did that, right? So he was like, "Yeah, Sambo, how you doing?" You know what? I ain't say shit. I waited till I got outside, waited till that motherfucker came out, and I bust his ass in his jaw. That is what you motherfuckers want here to play this peaceful shit. Fuck that, nigga. It's on site. And you can check out my criminal record or whatever. Hey man, I be busting them motherfuckers. Simple assault, baby, here in LA, baby, ain't number 10 days. If you got to do that. And then an anger management class. That's it. I'm keeping it 100. I'm proud of what the fuck, because you know what? Y'all do that shit. I'm going to get my satisfaction. I park in the handicap motherfucking sections and shit. I do all kind of crazy shit. Why? Because that's my reparations, nigga. Y'all do it the way y'all want to. Dorsey gonna do it the way he want to. And all that other shit that y'all going through, y'all talking and just talking. That's good, talk. But goddamn, go buy some bullets and some goddamn guns. So when you finish talking, goddamn it, be ready.
And this is why legislation needs to be passed, because guess what? If they said some anti-Semitic, anti-Asian, all of this kind of stuff, there'd be repercussions legally for all this nonsense. But they can get away with this nonsense. That's why they do it. It's really that simple. So we can keep on slapping people nonstop, but your hands gonna get tied after a while. So that's what I'm saying. We need to pass some kind of legislation to check these people, because without that legislation, you're gonna be having these little punks online thinking they can say whatever they can say because they're too scared in real life to speak up.
Hey, can I say something? Check this out. Um, we're FBA. Am I right?
Yes,
Meaning that
sir.
some of us are the Aboriginal people who was already here in America
Yes,
when
sir.
Columbus came here, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
when we made these treaties and shit with these people and so forth, and the young bucks would sit up there and question the motherfucking chiefs like, hey, Farmer John came up there and shot motherfucking at us and shit for no reason. And the chief like, hey, well, don't worry about it. We got a peace treaty, yada, yada, yada. And sometimes they will put up with this shit, but then sometimes, man, niggas go on the warpath. That's why they call them renegades. They go against what the motherfucking leaders say. And they do what the fuck they gotta do. Because, man, these young motherfuckers ain't gonna be putting up with this shit too much longer. Because the old motherfuckers don't even want to put up with it. And our grandparents, and you know damn well, they'll tell us, hey, man, y'all don't put up with that shit no more.
But as long as they got a video game, as long as they got a video game or somewhere else to express themselves, you won't see those same things happen.
Yeah.
I think the key
But you
is the young
know,
people to any kind of resistance, any kind of protest is young people. Because think about it, back in the day, what was it? Well, Booker T, he was a black guy that they used back in the day to keep all other black people in check. So if it wasn't for the young black people, the renegades fighting against that nonsense, we'd still be in the same positions we were back then. So yes, there has to be young people always fighting against it, always having those renegades to fight for this and fight for that. Because without them,
we
it'll be
should have
stagnant.
never came up with the NIGGA. We should have never came up with that shit. Cause that's a little easy way of slide. Oh my nigga, I didn't say the ER.
That's not our
Fuck
fault, bruh.
that.
That's not our fault. That's rap music.
That is
That's
our
that's
fault,
that's that's
nigga.
that's produced.
I'm gonna
That's
tell you.
producers.
Oh,
That's
hold on,
producers in
hold
rap
on,
music.
hold on.
That's producers in rap music. That's what I'm saying.
Check
It's
this
like
out.
they're saying all of that nonsense because they're hearing it on rap songs, because these dummies got paid a little bit of money, so now they're disgracing our race by doing all this nonsense for this little bit of change. Because look at all these people that we
Okay,
built up. Look at 50. Look at Snoop. Look at all these people that we built up. Now these are all MAGA goons. Look at them all. Like seriously,
okay.
we built up
So,
all these
That's
people to use
way
that money
late.
against us now.
That's way late. Come on, we was
so let
Vietnam.
me.
We was for Vietnam
So
saying what we saying. That's
let me
way
tell
late.
y'all something. It was 1998. I was at the Aztec House downtown LA. It was just got through doing a concert freestyle, right? So we going down the damn stairs. It's a white boy with a couple of brothers, and he's saying, "Yeah, my nigga." And I turned around. I said, "Hey, motherfucker, what the fuck you say?" And the two brothers was like, "Oh, it's okay, man." He was up. I say, "Nigga, it's okay with you, but it's not okay with me." And it ain't. And I'm sure it's other motherfuckers that ain't okay with. You better check your boy and tell him there's a time and a place for that shit. And that's how
I
we have
been
to
through
do
it too.
it.
Listen, I
Shit.
remember one night I went to the bar. I seen a dude that I knew. He mixed. He had his white partner with him, and we just ended up outside, you know, the little smoking area and shit. He said, something, my nigga. I said, hey, look, man. Don't say that shit no more. He's like, what are you talking about, bro? I said, look, bro, get your partner, man. Like, cause he's saying this shit here. This shit not gonna be all right everywhere. Like, he don't need to say that shit no more, and you don't need to be around him. He just throwing this shit around. He gonna get y'all in some shit. Get y'all ass whooped over here.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's about the respect. It's about the respect. You don't know me like that.
Hey, you
And
gotta earn it. You gotta earn it when it comes. Like if you want to step outside, you can earn it.
check this out. You have to to a motherfucking all black picnic, nigga. You know not to say no silly shit like that. It's about respect. It's about courtesy. You don't curse in front of somebody's grandma. So to say that in front of my grandmother, oh man, my grandma look at y'all, look at us like y'all ain't gonna whoop his ass.
Michael Thomas said, "I'm out this motherfucker." Hold on, Dorsey. Your mic is echoing. Damn, that's just terrible. Mike says, "This the real hate going on. I'm out this motherfucker, stupid." Good night, Michael. Good night. We don't have any ill will towards you. We don't want to say anything crazy about it. Just good night. That's it. That's all. Good night.
And that's the point I'm at. Like, seriously, I'm done feeding into the nonsense because that's what they want. Because they don't have nothing logical to say, so that's all they can say.
They always playing the victim.
Who is
had to
they?
put up with 400. They?
Yeah, who is they?
They
Racist
are the
bigots.
system. They are the system itself. Number one, for almost 85 years, white people did blackface and were committing motherfucking crimes and framing motherfucking black men. Then when we get to DNA and so forth, a lot of black men were exonerated for shit, false charges thrown on them. So they are the people who constantly, whether they be black, brown, Hispanic, whatever, hey man, when you treat me like I was in Mississippi one time. No, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, at a Parliament Funkadelic concert, backstage, dressed to the T. And my cousins was from Detroit, and Ron Ford is a brother-in-law to one of my cousins and so forth. So we backstage, man. So then one of the motherfucking stagehand runs with the costume rack. I got on Stacey Adams, so you know my feet is already crunched up in the shoe. Boom, he run over my damn shoe. So when I bend over to go ouch and shit, man, some motherfucking sergeant about 6'6", 325 pounds, a lieutenant he was a lieutenant from the Memphis Police Department, picked my little light ass up. I was 110 motherfucking pounds. I was only 15 years old. He slammed me against a concrete wall and said, "Nigga, when he tell y'all to move out the way, move out the way." I told him, "I'm not no motherfucking nigga. You talking to them. I'm not no nigga." And he said, "Where you from?" I said, "Mississippi." He said, "Oh, we got one of them Mississippi boys." Hey, nigga, I stand 10 toes on my shit. And then when they grabbed me, they threw me in a juvenile detention center with some motherfucking plastic ass shoes, a t-shirt, and a pair of jeans. I stayed in that motherfucker for 8 hours. The people I was with came and picked me up. I had that long ass motherfucking ride home in that motor home. And then
With them karate shoes on.
Hey, then I got home. Now it's about 7 in the morning. We got there, right? So I crawl in the bed, man. 10 minutes later, my dad comes through the motherfucking door. "What the fuck I heard about you motherfucking talking back to the police like that? Wooty 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 wop wop wop." Right? He going off on me, right? I ain't saying shit because I'm like, he gonna give me a chance to answer eventually. Then I'm going to say it. So he asked me what happened. And I told him what happened. And he said, "You have to go ahead and sometime take that." But I reminded him, "Hey, you didn't take that shit when them goddamn Jackson police cops was trying to give you a ticket on your motherfucking Cadillac when you was motherfucking the right. You didn't take that shit off that state trooper when you was in your banana motherfucking yellow motherfucking Cadillac with me, grandma, my mom, my uncle, retarded Uncle Eddie, and my brother. And you got money in your pocket, and he pulling you over saying, 'Did you steal this car?' You wasn't motherfucking silent when you cussed his ass out then, Dad. So please don't come to me with that sideways shit." Now, I don't know where the fuck I'm saying my shit loud. I'm FBA and I'm proud. And whatever y'all do, that's good for you. Me, I ain't putting up with that shit. And I mean that shit. I come from a warrior motherfucking race. Not no motherfucking servants.
You can earn it. You step your ass outside and you want to say something and you can whip his ass and you can say it. Other than that, that's about as down to the earth as I can get.
Dorsey, when you're not talking, you have to mute up because we can't hear anybody talk but you when your mic is on and somebody else is talking. What the fuck are we talking about?
That's West
Blackface
Coast.
for? Hold on, Dorsey. Cause yeah, when you unmute, we can't hear nothing but echo. Nothing but echo. You said black people in music bands also did blackface. The fuck are we? Who's talking about blackface and whiteface here? See, quit moving the goalposts. Go ahead.
Is that meant for me or is Top Cat? Are you here?
Yeah, can y'all hear me? Is it my phone?
Hey,
Dorsey gonna have to leave and come back. We can hear Top Cat, we can hear Dorsey, but with Top Cat, when you're talking and Dorsey's mic is on, we hear you through your mic and Dorsey mic. That's the problem. Dorsey mic too loud or something's going on. I don't know. He might have to leave and come back.
okay, I'm gonna leave and come back. Okay.
All right.
Shit, cool.
Go ahead, talk.
Plug, you hating on us Cali niggas again, man? That's what you doing right now?
No, I'm hating on you old niggas don't know how to work y'all mic.
That's all right, man. I leave it up to her to work the mic. I'm not supposed to be a professional at this mic game. It's on her.
Go ahead though, man. This shit is crazy, man.
Oh, yo, Plug, I wanted to give you, what do you call it? A comment, basically. Sometimes when I speak and I cut somebody off, I end up losing where I have, it's called short-term memory something or another.
You be smoking weed?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, we know what you're dealing with, nigga. You just hot. You ain't gotta try to dress it up. You just hot, nigga. It's a notes tab in the back. You could be able to write some notes.
And what makes me, I got it. That you're fun. Like that's funny that you said that. That's exactly what I have in my hand: a notepad and a pad to actually write down what it is that I want to get across when I do end up talking. But that first idea that you gave me, I haven't tried, so I'll try that then too.
Yeah, a bit.
But that's just all I wanted to say. Is this is just sometimes, man, I have the point, and then I'll lose it.
Your ass be high.
And then and then you're all like, "Yo, yeah, answer me about the," and I'm like, "Nah, I done forgot about that already." You know what I'm saying? All right, my dude, go ahead, guys.
Nah, for sure, man. Have y'all seen anything about Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me actually go to the. Am I on my server? Yeah, I'm on my server. How do y'all feel about the guy going to Antarctica and getting turned around and he can't use Starlink? They said you can't have a cell phone, no devices, and you barely can have a piece of paper over there. And also, we seen Antarctica, and it was really looking green. It was looking real green down there in Antarctica. I didn't see any ice sheets that I used to see on the motherfucking Discovery Channel.
Who's enforcing that?
That's what we want to know. I don't know.
I don't know,
captain. He said the captain. Right then, it was the captain that took his Starlink and all of that shit.
Yeah, I haven't heard that story, but that sounds suspicious as hell, don't it?
We played the clip. It was the first IRL live stream from Antarctica ever. And shit, they took his Starlink, told him they're not supposed to have no devices. That he was like, well, they seen me get on here with it like it wasn't a problem. Now it's a problem. I don't know if they knew he had that Starlink and threw that bitch up in the air.
But don't it sound like he walked into like some Area 51 type junk? If that's the case, like they took away all his, his communication.
That's exactly what he did. He ended up in a black site.
Well, I mean, he was in like a place where it looked almost like a booking, like where you go into jail and booking, kind of like some but locker.
Yeah, like a beige room with like that
but
yellow
it had
light.
lockers there. That's why I didn't think it was like a booking cell, because it had lockers there. So it's like, okay, he's not in jail. Maybe this is just, like barracks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying what nation or whatever is imposing these laws on this person?
Israel.
Hold on. What I'm saying, I don't even know where the fuck that came from. I don't know. But what I will say is this, Top Cat, in this instance, it wasn't a nation or any military. I think it was whoever was the captain for that expedition is the one who enforced it at that time.
Oh, so whoever brought him out there basically was somebody saying that you done went past the protocol.
Correct, because he kept saying, well, you're the captain, you're the captain.
Well, that's wild, because it seemed like they didn't vet him before they let him even go out there for him to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then another point was that I didn't see any, they were on green land. They were on the land. It was green, and you could look out and see what looks to be like glaciers and shit. But just the whole ice narrative, where it was like, growing up, they made us believe that it wasn't no grass on Antarctica, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Well, they don't really specify how the tundra works, but there was a point where I knew where glaciers were and the tundra, and I do know that it's a melting situation where there's going to be a point from light and vegetation from a certain point of elevation to another. So that's why they say Canada is so big, but half of it is uninhabitable, and same with China.
I personally think the polls are going to reverse.
Yeah, they said they unalived that scientist, the one that got shot at the college in Massachusetts, I believe, or what was it, Rhode Island? One of those. When the guy went in there, he shot up the school. Then, like 4 or 5 days later, he went and shot that professor. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? This happened like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about.
Right. So that professor that allegedly got smoked was saying that it's time for the polls to reverse. He was putting that message out there that it's time for the polls to reverse.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that for a year and a half now. We all know that the polarities is moving and the poles are doing different things. There's a shift, definitely. There's a different magnetism going around this whole earth.
Welcome back, Dorsey. We can't. The echo's gone. You good now, Dorsey?
Thank you.
I think what it is when you swipe out of the app and you go to other apps and be trying to look at shit on your phone. That's when your audio get fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bro. I have to use 3 devices. I got one on the stream, one on YouTube, and then one on what do you call it? This other stupid one. I forget what it's called. Discord. There we go.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got 3. I'm running 3 phones and a tablet.
Yeah. But Dorsey, we was talking about the Antarctica clip that we watched earlier about how the guy and did the first in real live stream on Antarctica from mainland Antarctica, and they took his Starlink and told him he ain't even supposed to have a piece of paper out there. No cell phones, no recording devices. He ain't even supposed to have a piece of paper.
Well, Antarctica is like Area 51. You can't just go there on your own volition without the approval of government. I think the UN is the one who has to give you approval in order to be able to even set up a research site on Antarctica and so forth. And then there's always talk about the I guess you could call the aliens that have a base in Antarctica. There was a time they sent an exposition down there, thinking that the Nazi fugitives had moved down to Antarctica and established bases down there. And you hear those conspiracy theories, but basically, but these conspiracy theories also have paperwork to back them up that something happened down there and they don't want to talk about. I mean, it is what it is. They know something is going to happen to the earth, and I think that they're jumping the gun and trying to get order before before the um before the event happened. Because if there's a shifting of the magnetic poles and so forth, hey man, shit is going to go crazy, and everybody know that because all our compasses are geared toward north.
That's what they said caused the great floods. That's why they say our weather getting crazier and crazier. They say the last time the pole shifts was the great floods.
Well, I mean, that could be either the pole shift or that could be a mantle shift. Like, the outside of the earth is, and so when it shifts, the ocean is like, just like with a glass of water, or if you stop too suddenly and shift in the other direction, the water sloshes up. So theoretically, it could happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. But
Well, it's not
almost
even
every
that they say the scientist, the researcher that got unalived in that university shooting. I think it was Brown University. They did the Brown University shooting, and 5 days later he got unalived. He's the one that said, "Yeah, the last time this happened, we got the great floods," and then he got unalived shortly after that.
So we going biblical.
But is it biblical or is it historical? Because we're only talking about one tribe and what the recording of the history they went through. So there's other tribes that have stories to tell, but we align our history with the religious content of it. So I don't know. A lot of stories in the Bible, they make sense to me if you apply science to them. So who's to say that they didn't have airplanes back then? Who's to say that they didn't have X-ray machines, light bulbs, all the other things that they find depicted on the pyramids and so forth? Who's to say? I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do know that out there in that Sahara Desert, there's so many covered up cities and all kind of historical stuff. And then on top of that, and I want the whole world to hear what I got to say about this. When the UN conspired with the European nations to build the Aswan Dam, Top Cat, you know what the Aswan Dam is?
It sounds familiar, but yeah, bring me up to speed again.
Okay, they constructed this dam in 1959, right? They went to the project. They started in 1959, and it was supposed to flood a whole plain of landmass, right? But unfortunately, that landmass was called the Valley of the Kings, meaning that this was where all the pharaohs had their hidden tombs. So if you really think about it, if the Egyptian civilization was, okay, let's say 5,000 years old, you know how many generations that is? That's 300. That's 300 families every 1,000 years. So you're talking about 1,500, at least 1,500 pharaohs buried in that valley, and they deliberately covered that shit so that we wouldn't be able to recognize our greatness and our history. Now that's for the Africans. Me, I'm FBA, but that's the kind of shit that that our so-called civilized countries do. to the people all around the world. Like I also know for sure, and I can tell you that the Mormons looted those Aztec temples back in the 1940s when the World War was going on. The reason why, because I seen them in person at this Mormon. I was messing with this Mormon girl, and we was at her parents' house, and I started looking at shit, and I said, "Damn, this shit." She said, "Yeah, my parents brought that back in the 40s when they was down in Mexico." I'm like, could this shit almost motherfucking 600 years old. Because that's the last time they was building pyramids in America.
Yeah, the Mormons are the only ones to hold land in Mexico and actually own their own city in, the nation of Mexico.
Yeah. So the Mormons do the same thing because they go ahead and raid ancient burial grounds for the American Indian Plain Indians, and then they get to arrowheads, and they used to do it back in the days when they had comic books. You would send a dollar.
Damn, where'd Dorsey go?
He's still figuring out how to work this shit. Jared boxed himself up too. Dorsey and Jared. Dorsey he kicked himself out 10 times a damn lot.
You calling us old plug again? Niggas too old for this technology.
Dorsey just don't listen. He steady talking and swiping on his phone and shit. No, he don't know how to work that motherfucker yet. No, he don't know how to work that motherfucker.
Sweep your ass off.
Yeah.
Yo, I messed up. I hit the stupid back button. It threw me out of the room. When I went back, because I'm trying to. Is there a way I can view the comments while I'm also like looking at the panel?
That middle button, comments. That middle button. Click on comments.
Yeah. Well, no, I hit that. All right, and then go to comments. All right. Now I hit just join comments. That's it.
The dispensary.
Now, once I hit join comments and connect, it's not going to boot me again, is it?
No, but you just, if you on the panel, you really don't even need to worry about the comment. Yeah.
Okay.
It's up here talking.
I'm just wondering if, somebody was asking a question or anything.
Oh, until y'all transition, Top, I was with you.
All right, cool. Thanks. We're good.
What you say, Tissues? We can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The thing about it, I was listening to the last convo we had. I was listening to Top and Steve the other day, and I was just letting them go back and forth before they all just jumped off. But long story short, what was killing me about the conversation, I finally just got onto Top side because I'm with the complete FBA, just stay out completely, because when it came time to ask the other side for assistance, when I was doing that for them for police brutality part, you heard what he was saying? He was like, nah, that can wait. Just like, and I was just sitting there like, wow, okay, so you literally sitting here asking for help, but when it comes back to reciprocating that, you still on the same nonsense. So why would somebody lift a finger to help if you still on that same nonsense, and he's educated. So just think about how the dummies that act like that, so that like really made me like just really on Top side completely, because I'm thinking maybe there can be some kumbaya my lord thing going on real quick, but nah, that can never be the case until they at least take a step foot forward kind of thing, because we see no matter how many steps we take forward, they will never follow our lead until it's time that they actually, it's going to be like it's going to be like self deprecating. It's going to be it's gonna like spite in their own self if they don't assist, kind of thing. And that's where I think that's why we need to just stay where we're at, just stay, out the mix, out completely until finally everybody sees, and understands and has empathy for what we go through. Because none of these people have empathy for what we go through, and that's why all this is loud. You saw all quickly how once Alex Preddy got killed, all of a sudden all this empathy got brought up. All this, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that now. But I'm like, where was that energy at beforehand? Where's all of this? We should do this, we should do that before. And then all that, oh, black people need to help this and black people need to help that. Wasn't it going on before all of that happened? Black fatigue, them stealing our terms and using it against us, kind of nonsense. But now that they need us again, it's like I don't hear it is. It's just so much nonsense, so much hypocrisy, so much like placating, like elementary school placating. Like I'm just sitting here, like, are the smart people going to step up and actually fix this nonsense, or is it just going to keep on going on? But until then, I'm with Top. Just step the hell back and just until they fix their nonsense, just step back and let it ride. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But that's the part that just killed me about it. It's like, how can you ask for help but not trying to help? That's the part that stuck out to me the most. But anyway.
Yes, sir. Why do you want somebody to help you when you're already where you're at? You're asking for help in another situation that you didn't create. Even in your own situation, I have to go fight these same fights there, but you're coming and taking advantage of the fights that I put forward already.
And another thing, family, like that's why I just shut the hell up, because you be bringing up some good ass points sometimes, bro. I gotta give it to you. Another thing I give it to you is when you brought up black people is the first this or black people that, he kept on pushing back. I'm so lost. Why are you pushing back when he has some history to tell you? Yeah, I'm lost. And then he started coming back at you with like some fake facts, because I'm lost. Please tell me one time in history that somebody Googled, uh, does this person have any genetic blacking them, the first person that was here? Like who Googles that way? Who researches that way? It's like I just felt like he was coming up with like fake facts to refute what you were saying, and I'm sitting there like ain't anybody gonna call him out on this nonsense? Like, come on, bro. It's like some of his stuff, I'm not gonna get it. Like he was hitting on some of his facts. I gotta give it to him. But some of his other stuff, I'm like, are you making this shit up on the fly right now, bro? Like, come on now.
Because
George,
it sounds
is George,
unbelievable, but it's true.
okay. Can I answer one of y'all questions? Why you know why they want black folks back into the to back them in the marches and shit? Cause they can't stand the motherfucking sun, nigga. That's why. Cause we can handle the heat. We can stand on our feet. We can do what the things that we got to do out there. They don't do no protests. They don't do no protests on no rainy days. They don't do no. They wait till the sun is out and shining, and they can't handle the dosage of sunlight. That's why they want us out there. And on top of that, we thrive in that shit. So then when it's sunny, hey man, we get hype. We get energized with the sun. And then that's the reason why we shine. That's the reason why we come up with the slogans. Our mind works with it. Whereas when their mind shuts down in the heat, our mind is motherfucking active. That's just the real reason. That's on the physical. Let's not even talk about the spiritual. Let's not even talk about the musical. I mean, I do protesters. I be out there. I be marching, man. It be boring. But as soon as I get out there, you can check it out on Freddie Dorsey YouTube channel. As soon as I get up there, I bring the hype. They be like, "Oh, we so glad to see you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know you are." And like I
Oh,
said,
family. I got one more point to that last thing I was talking about. Another thing, they want us to come out and help them with their nonsense, but once you finally check to see who Preddy got killed by, I see why he got killed like that, because there's no empathy. The how police brutality, how they just kill us, no empathy, no caring, no world about that person's family or what that person's going through. Just kill them. Who cares? They felt like that about Alex Preddy too, because they couldn't relate to Preddy. They had no empathy for him. That was Jesus Ochoa and Ramundo Gutierrez. So literally the people who immigration is so called after killed a white man. So I'm sitting here like, okay, are they about to be enraged by this? And that's the only reason why. You notice how long it took for them to release that first white boy name? What's his
He
name?
wasn't a white man. He wasn't
Jonathan
a white
Ross.
man.
Yeah, Jonathan Ross or whatever his name was. It took them a long time to get that out there, right? Tell me how quick did these two names come out that quick? So you see,
He
they're not
wasn't a
protecting.
white man.
They're
He was
yeah, they're
a
not
nigger
protecting.
lover.
They're not protecting them
He
just
was
because
a nigger
it was
lover.
two
That's why they killed
two
him.
Spanish people killed that white boy, and that's why they released that name so quickly. And on top of that, that shows you why they were so quick to pull that trigger. They didn't have that empathy for that man. That's why I'm thinking maybe. I guess the white maybe ICE officer maybe want to pull that trigger that quick. Maybe I don't know, black officer maybe want to pull that trigger that quick. But only thing I know with those people, they pulled that trigger super quick. And mind you, they're the same people that want us to come out there and assist them with this. So if they killed that white man that quick, how fast would they have killed us? It's like literally what we were talking about before. They want us like bullet bags. They want us for protection because our life doesn't mean that much. So when we get killed by these fools, there won't be this much outrage about it. It'll just be like, okay, they just got killed for resisting. But now when they get killed by it, even though he was resisting, that still was overkill. They should have did this. They shouldn't have did. So now they can show empathy. Now they can understand what we've been going through for all this time. So that's why I keep on harping on, like, yes, now's the time to strike. Yes, we should do everything we need to do to fix ICE right now. But at the same time, at the same stroke, we need to fix all this police brutality at the same time. It's really that simple in my mind.
Yeah, it seemed that way, but I feel like at the end, once everything gets fixed, it won't be fixed for us. Still, I still don't think that none of this is made for us. They all working off of the same template as before, and when everything gets beautiful and they make everything great again, we'll still be getting kicked in the ass the same way.
You're completely
Check
right.
this
That's why
out.
I'm saying concurrently, while we're doing this fix ICE or abolish ICE, whatever nonsense they're trying to kick right now, I'm with it. But at the same time, we need to not abolish police, but we need to defund the police. We need to make sure funds is going towards policing and funds are going towards, whatever mental issues that this person may be going through and whatever other stuff that we could do with these funds besides militarizing them, having tanks in small communities nonsense. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm with you completely, but I don't know if other FBA hear me. What I'm trying to say is, okay, this is the extra piece that I'm putting to it. I'm thinking now's our time to, hitch our wagon onto not the fighting, but the legislation part to make sure our stuff gets passed because people keep on talking about there's hate laws passed, but as you see, look online. You still see all these bigots are emboldened to say this and say this, all this nonsense online. I guarantee you, let them say some Jewish nonsense online and see how quickly they get doxxed and see how quickly something will happen to them. Some kind of repercussions will happen to them. But for us, nothing happens. So I'm lost at where's these laws at. I'm lost at what is this person's talking about? Where's this law that's protecting me from being discriminated against? Where's this law that's protecting me from having some punk online saying this nonsense or that nonsense? So like I said, now's the time to strike. I don't think now's the time to be isolated because when we be isolated, they're going to have an excuse not to do for us like we've done for other communities. That's why I'm thinking, now's the time to just, when it comes to legislation, to get along the same path. And then hopefully we can get our stuff going through because if we wait until after they pass and do all this stuff, like it'll be just like what you just said, Top. They're just going to forget about us. They're going to forget about us like last time and they're just going to go on with this new rules and legislation, all this other good stuff. Nah, that's when now we got to strike. All this nonsense been going on with ICE. Think how long it's been going on with the police. Think how many people got killed by the police unjustified because it was they weren't compliant, they weren't this and they weren't that kind of nonsense. Where was the empathy there? So that's why I'm not loving this, but I'm loving that other races, other communities have to go through what we've been going through for decades, for centuries now. And that's why I'm thinking now's our time to actually show our empathy to make them wake up. Because without this time, when will they ever wake up? Because listen to them now. You don't hear no empathy from them. You hear the same nonsense over and over again. So when is the perfect time to utilize this skill that we have, this empathy skill that we have for others? And I'm thinking now is that time to utilize that because When else will we have this time? Trump is the perfect candidate for us. I'm with letting Trump do all this nonsense to everybody, because now everybody can wake up and now they can see that these rich people don't care about you. They care about the dollar. So all you poor racists out there, you people are stupid. You're carrying water for a person that will never do anything for you. And if you don't believe me, go ask them. So that's why I'm saying, like, now's the time to get these stupid people to wake up. And I don't know what the perfect message to be. You may know these people better than me. I think Plug, since you talk to them more, may know the best message to say. But now's the time to strike, bro. Like, if not now, when?
Hey, that's that welcome to my world. I keep saying, well, welcome to my world, but will it still ever change? The same thing that you're speaking about. Like, I understand that. Will that legislation still come down to help everybody else but you? Like, so even though we're saying we'll go do this, and right now we'll hit you onto this situation, in the end, will you be disincluded? So basically, if you say this is civil rights or this is human rights, will the next ploy from the other side is to say that you're not human again, and everything that you fought for is for everybody else but you? What is going to be the next situation that makes us substantial in these different points of legislation where we cannot be excluded in the end?
Hey, Top Cat, how you doing, man? This is Dorsey, right? Okay. When the LA riots kicked off and after the LA riots, didn't shit change in LA?
Hell yeah, that Reginald Denny made shit change a lot.
Exactly. So then opportunities was made to us and our youth as far as employment, them sending funds into it so that they will have recreational programs, program scholarships and so forth to get the youth and black community to be less violent and so forth. And then at one time, even the gangs had a truce going on for a while. Am I right or wrong?
I remember all that. Yeah, I remember it all.
Okay. So when people do all that blah 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 yeah, they don't listen to that shit. The only time they ever listen is when it costs them money. I'm talking billions of dollars. See, when they killed Martin Luther King, they thought that, but the way we reacted made their ass realize, like, hey, you just can't do shit and ain't no consequences to it. So I'm not saying that we go out and we do those things. All I'm saying is the only reason why we ain't did shit is because they ain't put their hands on us yet. And they know not to. That's why
And
they're
that
trying to provoke you. Because see, they can't, it's like a bully will talk a lot of shit, but he ain't gonna put his hands on you, right? Because he know in the back of his mind there might be a chance he might get his ass kicked, right? So we're leaning back and we're not reacting to it because we like, hey, you ain't put your hand on us. So we ain't gonna, look at it this way. They poked us in the chest with Trayvon. They poked us in the chest with George Floyd. They poked us in the chest with old boy Mike Brown. Old girl down in South Central. Uh, so they kept on poking. They kept poking the bear. They kept poking the bear, and then when we snap on their ass, they in shock because they didn't expect us to be so intense with our response.
I
Let's look at
personally
Baltimore. Let's
suggest
look at
that.
Baltimore. How they reacted.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bunch of usurps to those reactions too. That people hop on that train so they can get their limelight situation to push their cause and not the cause of everyone. And that winds up making individual points and separating us when we all could actually make a difference. But you came here saying that you cared about this, but you had a whole different political understanding when you came here, and you try to usurp the situation to make it something else. And that's where I feel like the movement goes into a different direction, where it goes
Well,
into
yeah, those
anarchy.
are the vultures. Those are the vultures. Because see, when the people are in action,
Dorsey boxed himself up again, y'all.
He done boxed himself up again. Damn.
Yeah, I honestly kind of think that I guess Dorsey was saying push forward, or it's time to like move in, or I think that's what they want for you guys. That and when I say you guys, I include myself in that. They want us to break. They want us to, that way they can use that narrative to say, you see, this is type of a way these people act. So if you take that away from them and start, how do you say, behaving like uh, we've all been banded, behaving between Latinos, African American. We've all banded that we're together, but we I don't know how to explain it really. The point is, they're going to turn it on us and basically, yeah, pass the ball, wipe their hands with it, and or wash their hands off, and that's it. It's over. But they're going to use us as. That's why I don't think that people should be out there protesting. Back in the days in the '60s and '70s, it was a lot. You know, sometimes they did get crazy, but the more recent ones, you got cars blowing up. And they're doing it. They're like Dorsey said. They keep poking the bear. Why do you think they keep poking the bear? You don't poke the bear unless you want the bear to attack or at least hurt you in some way.
But yeah, what you touched on, bro, is exactly what we've been trying to do for years. It's just that trying to unite with the other minorities is what's like slowing us down, what's messing things up. Because it's like we'll do for others, but then others won't do for us. They won't reciprocate, kind of thing. Basically, and I think that's all just due to like internal racism. Everywhere, not just our country, everywhere around the world has suffered because of racism has plagued their country, their community. So they all suffer from internal racism, no matter like what country you go to. Go to India, you see the caste system, you see the people, the dark skinned people are the untouchables. They're the ones on the bottom of that caste system. You go to Palestine, you see the dark skinned Palestinians are the ones that are subjected to the lower part of their race's little totem pole over there. It's just nonstop. Spanish people go to like where we just invade Venezuela. You go down there, you'll get the dark Spanish people and you'll get the white skinned Spanish people, the blancos. Basically, that's just how it always is. It's like you have some that have an affinity for like white people because of internal racism, and because of that internal racism, they're like going against their own needs. They're going against their own causes to enforce this racism just to have a leg up on you or me, kind of nonsense. So until all these other groups can fight through whatever nonsense internal racism they're going through and just have pride within themselves, pride within their people, they're never going to be able to finally unite with black people, because that's one major thing black people have. We have major pride in ourselves. So whenever we have these little tokens or stuff like that in our community, we're quick to out them. We're quick to expose them and just shun them from the community. But when it comes to these other communities, they're still part of your community. Like the Spanish bigot kind of guy, the Jewish bigot, the whatever bigot kind of guy, he's still part of your community. The Asian bigot, he's still part of your community. You guys don't like shun
Oh,
them. Like
100.
yeah, you guys don't shun those kind of people like the black community shuns our little people out like we do. And that's what's causing the divide. Until you guys take care of your internal
But
issues,
that's what I'm
you're never going
saying.
to be
You
able
guys are
to
doing
unite.
great. Like he was talking about earlier. You guys are staying indoor, playing video games off the streets. You guys are not out on the streets no more like it used to be out in the '80s and '90s, where people would be on the stoop, or you know what I'm saying? You'd be walking down the borough, and what do you got? You got 4 or 5 dudes on a stoop, hanging out or whatever, in front of one of the people's houses. But those are the ones that, like I tell you, that they're going to try to blame and use as a shield when they go and push for that whole ICE reform, or that ICE, whatever it is that they want to do with ICE. It also affects the African American what do you call it? Their I
Community.
don't know what their
Community.
community.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm with you, bro. But responding to one of the comments, don't just. I want to put all that blame on the black female, because think about it. Think about how much propaganda, how much nonsense and racism that black men got to go through. You don't think black females had to go through the same thing? It's like, yes, they have been used to, divide our families and stuff like that, but uh, the best way to go about that is just educate, make sure that they're aware of the same tools and tactics that are being used against us that you're aware of. So then they'll know not to fall for the tricks and stuff like that. So I don't know. I wouldn't say they're the problem. I think they're an issue that with education can be solved so that
Could
we can
be
get
a
on the same page.
solution. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because one of the things that destroyed everything was when they decided to destroy the nuclear family, take the father out of the home. And that's what they did with you guys. They would take the father out of the home. Not everybody, not everybody's the same, but they would take the father out of the home. And then you got now mom working 2 jobs to trying to take care of 3 kids, and you know what I'm saying? Doesn't know what her kids are doing, and things like that. And it's a scary thing, for the kids these days.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they don't understand that.
Hold up. I like to say something to the statement he just made. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Uh, the black community is not the only community that suffers from single moms. Um, the white community, y'all do have trailer parks, so don't forget that y'all got y'all
No, you're right.
unwanted.
You're 100% right. And I'm Puerto Rican, so I mean, we have our own things too. We call them viviendas, is what you would call like a place where you have a bunch of apartments. You know what I mean?
Projects.
Projects, exactly. Well, Puerto Ricans has a lot of those in the areas.
And in Mexican, they call them barrios. Here in the
Huh?
west side, here in California, they call barrios.
Barrios, exactly. Barrios, exactly, is what we have. But yeah, you're exactly right. You're 100% correct. I agree with you.
So
And
when I was
I don't
down
think
in Florida,
he was trying to say that, bro. I think I think he's trying to be cool. Basically, you are right. It's not just them, but when they got those benefits, what we were discussing before, how they got those benefits from the government. The black female, what he's saying, had to not have the male within the house. But the thing about it, do you know the reciprocal of that? When they did in these rural areas, these white females, to get these benefits, they did not have to have their male outside the house. They didn't have those same stipulations. They didn't have those same rules. So
Oh,
even when it
see,
comes,
that's
so
not
even
right. You
yeah,
should have the same rules for
even when it comes
everybody.
down, to these little like minute little stupid rules that people don't really pay that much attention to. That, oh, that's not racist. Even little stuff like that, there's racism embedded within it. But anyway.
No, you're 100% correct. You speak facts.
can I say something to the statement that the gentleman made previously?
Absolutely.
Okay, not you, the black guy. I guess he black, right? Okay, so let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real, and I know you want to present us in a positive light, but let's keep that shit real. The reason why a lot of the apartments didn't do it was because the male could stay there, but he came with this motherfucking thing talking about, well, baby, if I don't live here, that means your income is lower, and then they're gonna charge you less using motherfucking nigga logic when all he had to do was put his name on there. And yes, there would have been a slight increase, but it would have been compensated by him being able to work and be able to maintain for his family. Don't come with that sideways shit. What's right
No,
is
and
right,
you're
what's
right,
wrong is
and it
wrong.
takes away
And
Hold
so,
on,
from
hold
it
on, hold
takes
on, hold
away
on,
hold
from
up,
hold
him
on,
hold up,
hold on,
and
hold
the
hold
up,
on.
hold up,
family. Give
hold
me
up.
please,
I
give
ain't
me
Let,
two
let me
finished.
seconds,
let me
I
please.
ain't
rebuttal, bro.
It
finished.
takes
Let me
away
I
rebuttal,
ain't
my
from the
brother.
finished. Because
family.
when you want to take the
I'm
damn
gonna forget it.
shortcuts
Go
in
ahead.
life, they come up and they lead to going nowhere. When you take shortcuts in life, that leads you to motherfucking nowhere. And we need to stop trying to find these ultra slick shortcuts and just deal with the shit the way it is. That's the way it is.
All right, you ready for my rebuttal? All right,
Yeah,
basically,
go ahead.
yeah, as far as what you're talking about, no, I don't agree with that. Not one bit, not one half. As far as like some people trying to like game the system and stuff like that, I guess what you're saying. Yes, it happens in every race, happens everywhere. So you trying to put that on the black man? No, that's not the case. Basically, here's an environment that he's had to deal with. So he's trying to learn the game of that environment, and that's part of the system that they're playing right now. I don't agree with it. I think that the way to building back the black fam or black wealth rather is black families. Having a mother, father in a house that the kid can look up to and be raised within under. So that's the way to get the black family is how we're gonna get back black wealth. But as far as oh the black guy did this and I don't I hate when people try to point that nonsense out because guess what? It happens everywhere with every race. And guess what? White people are on food stamps and TANF, all that nonsense, way more than any other race. So it's like, it's do you want to say, oh, when white guy Tom did such and such, like let's not even go there with that, bro. Like anyway, what is? Are you black MAGA? Are you a MAGA, bro?
Who you talking to, Dorsey?
Whoever I'm rebutting to, who are you the one that just
That
said
was
something to me?
me. That was me, Dorsey. Check
Okay,
this
what's up,
out,
bro?
homie.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to
Are you
you.
black MAGA?
Uh, I, hell no, I ain't black MAGA. I'm a
Okay.
motherfucking man, and that's what I judge it on. I judge it
How
on
did you
being
vote though?
motherfucking a man.
How did you vote,
Okay,
sir?
so let me explain something. No, because you said you asking questions, so let me give you some answers.
No, I just actually I just
First
want to
of
know a
all, I
question.
ain't never
How did you
lived in the
vote?
project. I
I'm just
ain't
trying to see
never
who I'm
did
talking
none of
to.
that bullshit. I did that shit. I took care of my kids, and we paid motherfucking rent like normal motherfucking people. I didn't abandon my children to the goddamn streets. Now I'm the shadiest nigga you ever gonna meet. But one thing I don't do, I don't teach my kids bullshit. That's what I don't. And I don't know how you was raised or how you was, where you come from. I came from an upper middle income family with a mother and a father with a master's degree and a mother with a PhD. Both of them business persons in real estate and in other things in the entertainment business. So my whole thing to you is I have seen it. I have been around it. When I was coming up, my dad had a restaurant. When there was not busy and I wasn't out there washing dishes, I was hanging out with the shoe shine boys, the newspaper boys. We were running under the city in the sewers, hunting rats with BB guns, ear hustling all the conversations of what went around me.
Can I interject, bro? I got a quick
Yeah, go
question.
ahead.
I I'm just asking you, who did you vote for? I'm just curious. Just a question. And also, another thing I wanted to tell you, what you just told me is all anecdotal stuff. I'm happy that you got to live and be raised how you were raised. I wish a lot of people get to be raised in a nice environment. But as you may understand that that's not all society, and that's not a bulk of some of these people that what they got to go through. It's like your story is not everybody's story. That's why it's like I don't speak from my personal, this or that. I speak from just what I've researched, my readings, what I've seen in the news, stuff like that. Like I can't speak anecdotal, because whenever you speak anecdotally, you're excluding society. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is like, I'm happy that you had that kind of upbringing, bro, but that's not stereotypical for a lot of people that went through in the system. And what we're talking about is people that had to depend on what are we talking about? Like, what is it, like food stamps and stuff like that? So you don't even sound like within that category, bro. You can't even relate to that.
Check this out, brother. I can relate to it. I had to use food stamps when times were short. This was before I had a child. But once I had a child, I feel I had a responsibility to go out there and not rely on that kind of thing because people were depending on me.
I think you're missing my
So,
point. I'm not trying to knock what you're telling me. I'm not trying to knock it at all. Like, like you're a man. Sound like you're a man. Like, I'm not trying to knock you. What I'm trying to say is like other people's story is not your story. There's more
I
people like my
understand where
yeah.
you're coming from when
hmm
you're saying from the plight of people from Chicago, Ohio, New York, Boston. I understand how the people of the North had to deal with the pressures of living in an urban environment. But I grew up in the South, and I know for a fact nobody in the South went hungry because you could always go out there in them fields and get you some butter beans, some greens. It might not be what you want to eat, but at least you had something to eat. We didn't have to go through that nonsense. We didn't have to worry about having the heat system or whatever, the steam pipes or whatever to keep us warm. Because we went down there and chopped some wood and we threw that shit in a barrel or in a potbelly stove or whatever and kept ourselves warm. Like I said, I understand where you're coming from, but my whole thing is like I used to always watch this show called Good Times, and they always struggling and shit. And I always thought to myself, why don't they just move to the South? And then when James did move to Mississippi for that job he said that was good, the nigga died, and they still got stuck there.
Damn.
You're right. That's what. That's why I was like, damn. How? Why are you living there when it's easy to? People saying, well, you don't have the resources to move. God damn, everybody migrates to the United States. People in the Bible migrated. Why is it that and there was an exodus of blacks going up to the south, I mean to the north for jobs during World War I and II to work in industry and so forth. And now we got a migration where people are coming from out of the west, the north, and they migrating back to the south. Because sometimes you gotta move in order to survive. I'm just being 100. And I applaud you because you're a positive brother. You're a role model. I'm not a role model at all. And one of the things, and a lot of people were like, well, damn, Dorsey, why? You know why I used to say? I said, old men always motherfucking put the youngsters up there to do their dirty work. They always want motherfucking the young to go do the fight. I'm not one of them motherfuckers. I'm one of them old men that's willing to motherfucking stand up for my motherfucking race, for my country. And that's what it's going to boil down to. I understand, hold back, but y'all better prepare. Y'all better get y'all shit together. And I'm not talking about economically. I'm talking about y'all need to get some militias and all the shit that you see brothers doing. Y'all need to be unified and have some type of unity and shit. And I mean, able to defend yourselves. Are y'all gonna have more motherfucking Tulsas? Y'all gonna have more motherfucking Rosewoods? Because they not gonna be holding back and they not gonna be fighting fair. Let's keep it real.
Family, I'm with everything you saying, but I wouldn't be saying that on the internet if I was you. You heard about Move. You know what they did to the Panthers. I wouldn't say that online if I was you.
Check this out. I ain't organizing shit. I'm just speaking my motherfucking mind. which is my First Amendment right. They can't go nowhere and say, "Oh, he wrote a Mein Kampf and all that bullshit." Ain't nothing on paper. I'm just talking out my ass, so they can say whatever the fuck they want. I'm a U.S. Marine Corps vet. I can say, "Hey, man, I'm shell shocked." What the fuck? I'm gonna keep it real with you. And this YouTube plug, check this out. I'm banned from the Social Security office. I can't go to no Social Security office in the United States of America. You know why? Because you remember when they had to shut down during Obama, and I had lost my Social Security card, so I needed to get a job. The motherfuckers weren't getting one, and so I kept looking at the windows. And the security guard said, "Why are you looking at the windows?" I said, "I need to see how many bricks I need in order to throw through the motherfuckers." The motherfuckers called Homeland Security on me, sat me down. Both of them was veterans. They say, "OG," I said, "Look, man." I explained. He said, "Man, you can't do that shit no more, OG. You said we could say that shit." He said, "Now motherfuckers will lock you up for saying that shit. Don't do that shit no more, old man. We just gonna give you a misdemeanor and let you go." I'm like, "Cool, thanks, bro." And that was it. That was it. That's a true motherfucking story. Like I said, I'm not the motherfucking one. Give me liberty or give me motherfucking death. That's how I get down. I know how to conduct myself with civilization. I know how when the police say stop, how to motherfucking stop. I know how to go along with everything, even ask some niggas what we having for lunch. Because all it is a timeout. But for motherfuckers who want to, argue and all that shit, nigga, what you gonna do? He the one with the gun. He the man with the gun. So you can't do shit but comply. That's it. Now, as far as these protesters and so forth, if you'll look on my channel, Freddie Dorsey YouTube channel, you'll see we peacefully protesting, doing what we want to do, voicing our political and whatever. We got people involved, whatever. But the bottom line is, man, you don't sit up there and taunt and get all aggressive and shit with the people with the guns. And that's what them people up in Minneapolis was doing. And then to make it so much worse, the people that they were fighting for and died for, they didn't even get off their ass to go ahead and motherfucking protest on they. So if they ain't willing to fight their own fucking battle, why the fuck would we jeopardize our motherfucking livelihood, our freedom, our reputation for motherfuckers, cowards who won't even fight for their motherfucking self? And that's my feelings. Whether you what's some motherfuckers Sudanese with whatever. If you ain't fighting for your motherfucking rights and shit to be here, then your ass need to go. And that's the American motherfucking way. Go ahead.
So how you feel about the Preddy and the Good killing?
Basically, number one, stupid ass shouldn't have went out there with no gun. God damn. Hey, remember when you said he was a white man? White man. I said no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I don't know if you could hear me say it, right? He was a nigga lover. He was a nigga lover. And you know how the Klan feel toward nigga love. He was a race traitor in their eyes. Just like that woman. You're a race traitor. And that's what they do to race traitors. Them white boys they got that prison mentality.
I'm with
and
you.
that's how they get down.
I'm with you, but Jesus and Raimundo killed Preddy. That don't make a difference.
Check this out. What they name? Rumando and whatever.
Jesus and Raimundo.
Yeah,
Raimundo.
Ramondo. Them
Yeah.
motherfuckers think they white, so they white supremacy. You ain't got to be white. Long as you against niggas, that's all they count about. That's all they care about. Because see, they have an inferiority complex also. I don't see.
Yeah. That's what I was touching on. That's what I was touching about. Their internal racism, because that cat, his name is Jesus. Name means Jesus. He go by Jesse to try to make himself pass a little bit more white. Yeah. So yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not mad at him because hey, he trying to get in and get a better check. Shit, he doing what the white man pay him to do. But my whole thing is, look, we already know there's sellouts. We already know, and I'm not talking about the real one, the La Rosas, and the La Rosas ain't having that. But the ones who are the outliers, the ones we call them coons in our community, well, they got a motherfucker mayate or whatever. It's a word, mayana or something like that. They got coons too. The Chinese got coons. The Africans got coons.
That's the issue though. They don't exclude them people. They don't like shun them people like we do. That's the issue. Like if whenever we have our little tokens, we push them out the community. Them people still embrace them. They're still part of the community.
Hey man, the one thing about coons, you know what coons love? Money.
Hmm.
They sellouts. So they willing to do anything, like Officer Tatum. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But you put that money in front of him and he'll say whatever the fuck you want him to say. Just like Kanye. Just like other ones. Just like Jim Brown. Just like Steve Harvey. Hey man, that's what coons do. They talk a good game, but then when the time for that check, hey, they gonna step up or they gonna back off. One of the two, whatever master tells them to do.
But that's my issue. It's like gotta do something about these people before they get to their little pinnacle because we just built up some, like people like Snoop and 50. We built them up and now look what they doing. All they doing is run Nicki Minaj. All this money they built we built their name up, put all this money in their pocket,
And you know
and
what
that's
we
what they're
do?
doing.
And
Yeah.
what we do? We stop spending our money. Shit, we stop supporting them. That's just that simple. It's like this. Okay, you have a child that you love, right? But when your child crossed the line, don't you know when to cut them off?
I'm with you completely. My point is that I'm mad that we let them build up to this point, and then they want to tell us the truth. Like I didn't know nothing
Yeah,
about
but
50
check
till
this
like about
out.
until I heard about Louisiana. I didn't know 50 was the way he is. You know, I thought 50 was still cool until I heard what he did in Louisiana.
Check this out. What are they? A character. His name is not Snoop Dogg. That is his motherfucking character. Okay? Look at the person, not the stage name. Look at the person. When Snoop almost went to prison for that murder and they let his ass walk, he sold himself out then because he said, I'll be good, Mr. White Man. Whatever you say, please don't send me to prison. I'll do whatever the fuck you say. And that's what he did. He walked the line. And when it was time for them to call in that favor, guess what? Remember, he talked all kind of trash about Donald Trump. Remember the first presidency, right? Which one of y'all whoop whoop wah 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 wah? And then when the time came, guess what? He stepped right in. You know how he changed his mind? You know when he changed his mind?
Mm,
When he hosted the Olympics.
mm, I didn't think about that.
Cause then he tasted that worldwide fame and he liked it. And once he liked it, he tasted that he wanted more. So he said, "Shit, I'll sell out," and that's what he did. Shit, Lil Wayne had them goddamn gun charges on him, right?
Yeah,
And
I can understand
since
those
the
selling
Fed,
out. They were selling
uh,
out to get a part. They were selling out to get a pardon. I can understand that. Like even the Nicki Minaj one, I can kind of understand. But I
didn't you
don't.
hear what I said? Didn't you hear what I said about when Snoop had the murder charges on his ass? When
I
that,
don't remember.
when
I don't remember how
when
that
he
went down though. He pled. I didn't remember him pleading.
Yeah, he got off. He got off. Look, if you'll go and look at the date of the trial, right? The date, the year, right? From that point on, he no longer did any gangster rap motherfucking songs. It was all about getting high. It was all about partying. It never was about motherfucking gang banging no more.
You know you about to have me go back now. I gotta go listen to nonstop Snoop to see what you talking about.
That's why I said it, baby. Just like
Mm,
Dr. Dre, same shit. Remember, Dr. Dre went to damn prison for a minute, right? Got his shit straight. Understood what a real gangster and what a motherfucking fake gangster really was, right? And later on, he became a billionaire. Boom. But one thing Dr. Dre don't do, he don't get involved in politics, do he?
none of them get involved. None of them get involved in politics. But that's what Malcolm Ben told us. We can't look towards an entertainer for leadership because they've already been bought. So we already see they clowns.
Well, shit, if you already been warned, why the fuck you fall for it?
Who else we got? Who we got? That's what I'm saying.
You
We
got
don't have that.
you. You got you. Shit, that's who
Yeah,
you got.
exactly. And the closest thing that we had to the leader for our current time is what, Obama. But Obama was, he was a part Kenyan, part white. He wasn't really looking out for black causes. So yeah,
Well, check this out. Um, you have the potential of raising a black leader, whether it be male or female, right? Is what you put in them, right?
I'm with you.
My mom and my dad, um, they were doing the civil rights. Medgar Evers was a close friend of the families, my mom and dad. And when he was murdered in front of his house, in front of his daughters, it affected them. It made them bitter. It made them real bitter. And they was like, hey, no more of this shit. All this peaceful shit ain't been nothing but pain and suffering. It's time for us to at least speak up and speak out. And that's what we did. I understand, if you be dignified and you can't act the ass in public and so forth. And, because you're saying, oh, well, that's what they expect me to do. But at the same time, if you don't do nothing, they think they win. They don't look at you. Remember what old Michelle said, take the high ground. When they go low, we go high and all that shit. Okay, I wonder what they're saying now. Huh?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Okay. Now behind them doors, I know they furious as a motherfucker, but hey, you gotta live by what you gotta die on that sword. You can't say shit, right? Because as you said, that's what you believe in, right? You believe in dignity and grace.
And that's another part of our shortcomings. We dealing with principles, morals, values. We dealing with people that don't have any of that. So how can you use that to fight those kind of people?
Because you also you fight fire with fire. Shit, not all
Yeah,
of us got
yeah,
to be
exactly. Yeah,
motherfucking
I'm
good.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, not all of us got to be goody two shoes.
Sure.
Shit, damn. Let some of us be Simon Sinister. Look, I'm gonna put it to you this way, and some people might say, Dorsey, that's a fucked up way to look at things. Okay, so I believe in a God Almighty, right? And I believe that God make things happen for a reason. I believe that the reason why we have gang banging and a lot of our young men is, warriors, ruthless killers, whatever you want to call them, and that's to keep the Ku Klux Klan out of our motherfucking neighborhoods. That's why. Because them white boys are scared to come to. See, them white boys will fuck with y'all up in Lancaster. See, I'm talking about because I'm in California. Lancaster and motherfucking Wrightwood and all that shit. And then y'all areas and shit outside of Georgia, outside of Atlanta, outside of, they do that shit because they got the numbers. But they don't come to the inner city with that bullshit, do they? If you hated niggas so much, then why don't you come in here and motherfucking challenge us? If you so eager to have this race war, then why don't you motherfuckers go on and start it? Get it popping. You know why? Because they ain't motherfucking sure themselves. See, they want you. See, I've had many a times when I was younger, I had white boys, tempt me, and I popped their ass because they thought that I wasn't gonna do it. But now that I'm older, I can realize when motherfucker trying to set me up for a trap. I'm not finna give you the satisfaction of letting you being able to draw down on me and then say that, oh, you was in fear of your life. Because you know what? This is a secret to you and me, right? They can hear your ass cussing them out 15 feet away just so you can motherfucking in their face. It's what you say to them that hit them to the core. See, and if you know the truth hurts them motherfuckers. It hurts them to the core. So, like you said, when they was talking about that monkey shit, I was like, motherfucker ain't talking to us because monkeys don't have nice, full, juicy lips, and monkeys don't have this big old fat ass that we carry. Because if you look at the motherfucking monkeys, they flat ass and they don't have no lips. So you damn sure ain't talking. And if you took all that hair off, that motherfucker be pale as a motherfucker and with good sunburn in less than a day. So when they say up there and say all that shit, I just look at them and say, see, my whole thing is my parents told me this. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So when they come with that bullshit, that shit don't faze me. Just like Plug said, I tell Plug, if you ain't in the Marine Corps, that shit, you went in the military, hey, what the fuck you got to say don't mean shit to me. Cause you ain't one of my peers. Ain't that what they judge you by? Supposedly in court.
No, I'm with you.
Okay, you judged by your peers. And that was the part that we were always mad about, is because they never gave us a jury with our peers. 12 black people judging us for our actions. They always was white jurors. And we always said it was injustice because from our point of view, it was just. But into their point of view, all niggas is guilty.
When they want to get their right conviction, you still get that same kind of jury mix. Like they know what venue to send that trial to.
Well, let me ask you something. Did not OJ go to trial and get acquitted?
Yeah,
Found not guilty? Am I right or wrong?
you're right. But what did the media focus on? They focus on Johnny Cochran doing some trickery, so called, instead of the racist Furman that messed up their whole case.
Well, I could go back and say some shit, but I'm just gonna say it like this. Justice was served, and if you didn't like the results, tough diddy. But you know what? They stuck on code. They destroyed his house. They destroyed his career. Fortunately, fortunately for him, he had the common sense to take his ass to Europe and put his money in Swiss bank accounts so he couldn't be sued and touch his money. They thought he was. Look, the man went to USC. Okay, you
Oh,
think that OJ is stupid enough, huh?
Something about OJ. The thing about it, I'm not even sure to tell the truth, but OJ may be innocent because the thing about it, there was a call between Nicole Brown and her mother the night that she got murdered, but that call has been sealed for 75 years. Why? You know, like that. Like when I heard that, I was like, "Yo, OJ may be innocent." Like,
He is innocent, but see,
I
if I
truly don't
go through,
care. Yeah, but
if I say what goes on, people gonna be like, "Oh, Dorsey, you with the wild theories and all that." But see, let me tell you what. You know who are the biggest drug dealers here in Hollywood? Is the short hats. Okay, they are the ones. If you look at the show called Snowfall, you'll see who when the boy got his connection, he got it from a dude from Israel. Okay, who was trafficking cocaine. Okay, so the small hats over in Brentwood. Now that's an exclusive neighborhood. They fronted her enough payments for through Ron Goldman, who was a small hat. He did something for her, and he ran up a $70,000 bill with her under using her name as a credit line. When they approached OJ for it, he said, "Nope, I'm not paying for it. She's just gonna have to deal with it." They said, "Well, okay, we're gonna have to make an example out your wife and the Goldman kid, and you can't say nothing because you're gonna be, they're gonna try to press you, but don't worry about it because we got the inside scoop." Marsha Clark, Judge Ito, and all of them knew each other, which means that they were supposed to have excluded themselves from the trial. Marsha Clark's husband used to play poker with OJ every Wednesday. She had personal dealings with him. She served that nigga beer and crackers. So if you had contact with him as an attorney, you were supposed to exclude yourself. Judge Ito and Mark Judge Ito and Johnny Cochran, when they used to work for the DA, they investigated Mark Furman and knew about his being racist for beating up Mexicans behind the jailhouse and all that. They knew it. So everybody who was in there was all together. And what they did was the small hats who were great at drama, movies, they said, "We gonna make this a blockbuster." They snorted some cocaine. "I got it. We're going to make this a blockbuster and make money. And what we're going to do, OJ, you are going to say, 'No, I didn't do it.' And we're going to make this big production. And guess what? When we had a trial, they going to stop for commercials. And we gonna get millions of dollars from Tide and Clorox and U-Haul rentals because everybody's gonna be glued to that TV." That is the truth of what really happened. It was all staged. Oh yeah, the people died, but the people who they said was the guilty and all, it was all staged. Does
So
that make sense?
what? I hear what you're saying. I can't prove nothing you're saying, so I can't go down that coach booth. What's your theory on Epstein though? Because I'm curious. Because you probably got a
Epstein,
theory on that
hey
too. You
man,
think he alive? You think Epstein alive?
yeah, he is. They said he hanged himself, right?
Yeah, that's the story. But I went in a rabbit
Let
hole.
me
I
ask
seen
you
like there's some
something. I mean,
videotape of
I don't
him.
know your age group, but do you remember Mission Impossible, the old Mission Impossible?
Oh no,
The
no.
one with Peter Phillips and all the old stars, the one with the lightning fuse, dun 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 dun. Not that
That's
Tom Cruise bullshit,
yeah. That's
right?
the first I can go back is Tom Cruise. Uh,
Okay, so
uh,
in the old Mission, and I'm talking about this, the 1960 pimping. This how sophisticated TV used to be. When they used to do the Mission Impossible, say they assassinate a doctor or something, they would cause him to have a heart attack or whatever, right? They would hit him with this drug, and then they would hang him. And what they would do is they would put the rope under his shoulders in his armpits, and then they would have the noose as for decoration, but it's not choking him, it's not breaking his neck because all the weight is actually under his armpits, and they're going to go ahead and hit him with that injection to slow his pulse to the point that he's almost appears dead when they ask for a pulse and so forth. So then they put a sheet on you, they send you across, and then guess what? You go and you assume another identity, and guess what? You gone. So in order to get rid of Jeffrey Epstein and him be the patsy, because only he knew what was really going on, they killed him, and then he went on about his business. Man, when he got surgery somewhere, he don't even look like himself no more.
honestly, unless you can show me a body, I might believe this conspiracy because The way he did everything is just highly, highly, highly suspicious. The way he got off the first time, you know that they literally said that these minors that he molested, he took advantage of, they called these minors prostitutes. That's how he was able to get away with his first charge. So he got charged back the first time he really got charged and hemmed up for doing all this nasty stuff he been doing
Okay.
for like oh seven oh
You
eight.
know
Yeah.
who the attorney general was who did that shit, right?
Acosta, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when they did that, they was part of them people who went over to Epstein Island, and since he had political pull, they gave him a slap on the wrist. And to be honest, yeah, them girls was hookers. They go, I don't want to hear that shit. These young girls now, either we gonna start realizing that they are motherfucking adults, or we gonna perish as a civilization. Just keep it real, because as long as we don't, they're not accountable. Because see, when a young man, whether they black or white, if a young man kills somebody, they punish his ass to the full extent of the law. Am I right or wrong?
We found something we can debate on. What are you calling old enough to say that they're adult? They can't be a kid no more because these is kids, bro. What are you saying as an adult now?
I'm saying motherfucking like they said in the old days, 16 years old.
Nah, these kids is younger than that. These kids was like 12.
Well, you took it. Well, you looking at some of the people who believe in that Puritan shit, right? You know, they was marrying, 40-year-old men, let's say Mormon men, was marrying them young ass girls out there on the frontier, and that was less than 100 years ago. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I'm going by what the law is. The law is no, so no. You know,
Check
like,
this out.
uh,
The federal law is no. State laws is different, ain't they? They vary, don't they?
I think what the only state that might have was what you just pointed out. What Utah probably got still like 15. I think youngest got to be
No,
15 the
Kentucky.
earliest.
Look, Kentucky and West Virginia used to have that shit too. I think it was 14 that you could marry at the age of 14 with the parents' consent.
With parents' consent, though. That's even still, though. I give that to you. I still give that to you because even still, oh man.
Yeah, remember R. Kelly? R. Kelly was messing with them girls with the what? The parents' consent. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, you're right. That's what I'm trying. I'm looking at. Hold on. I'm trying to look at the age right now. The earliest age consent for the country.
But see, the federal law supersedes any state law. So at any time, the feds can come move on you whenever they want.
There's a couple states. The youngest right now is 15. Yeah.
Yeah, you see where I'm coming from?
Mhm.
So whatever state that is, that's what the people of that state thought. That's, if you want to call them perverts, whatever you want to call them, that's what that people in that region of the country believe in, because they didn't change it, right? It's still standing, right?
I don't even want to argue this point with you. I guess we can if you want, but it's just because I feel like arguing this point is giving some light to this Epstein guy. I think he's a pedophile. He's a molester. He was dealing with girls in 12 and 14. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? No.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Uh, I hear what you're saying, but I don't want to debate this point unless you want to throw it in there because I don't by arguing this point. I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of like giving Epstein some leeway with what he did with all this molesting and all this pedophile nonsense that he did because he molested some kids that was like 12 to I want to say the oldest kid was like I think 16, but it was the kids was between like 12 and 16 years old. So that's molestation, is it not?
Okay, so let me ask you something. Where was these children's parents at the time?
Probably some trash parents. I agree. Go on.
Okay, so that was one of my arguments when people was talking about, when Michael Jackson, they accused him of the molestations and so forth. I'm like, well, who was these people who let their kids stay over Michael Jackson's house because the running joke was black folks would have never let their kids go over Michael Jackson's house and spend the night. Remember that shit? So my whole thing is, to some people, and maybe we guilty of it too, in all cultures, but to some people, man, life don't have no value. You know, I mean, how many times have you seen on those dramas when the mama tell the kids while she drunk, "I wish you were never born. I never should have had you." Under that truth serum, that alcohol. This is society we live in. This is America.
Oh yeah, I know that this is America, but my point is this cannot be America. We gotta strive for better than what it is right now. Only reason why I'm liking what's going on right now is for all these little racist people that try to say that, what are you talking about? This racism doesn't exist. Okay, look at what just occurred yesterday. Before we used to have to pull back, oh, this and that from a year ago to a couple years ago. No, we got from yesterday. We can point out, yeah, this race right here, this race right here. So that's why I'm liking what's going on right now. But as far as like with these kids, I hear what you're saying, but it's like no, there we have to have principles, we have to have morals, because if not, this would be a decrepit society. This would be hell, literally. Like nobody would be doing anything that is righteous because everybody would be looking out for self, doing some nonsense. And kids, if we don't protect kids, who will? That's like kids and senior citizens kind of thing. You always want to protect the weakest people within your society, so called. So once we stop protecting them, I can see our society getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So it's like whenever we give leeway to pedophiles saying, well, this state allows this or this state allows, I don't even want to go there with it because we all know what these people did is wrong. So just call a spade a spade. Only reason why we're having this kind of debate about it is because these are some rich, powerful people. If this was Tom the molester, he would have been locked up. The bad part about it, he probably only got like 3 years because it's not treated like a true crime here in this U.S. And that shows you how the people that run this U.S. they really are and how they think about crimes. Because in my mind, I don't think that killing somebody should be the worst that you could possibly go to jail for, because you can justify that. There's a lot of justified killings that occur in America. But as far as molesting a child, raping, taking advantage of a child like that, there's no excuse. So that I don't understand how you get 3 years. That should be like 20 years, if not life. But anyway, floor is yours. Plug you up. Family, you good? All right. Well, the main message I just want to say is I agree with everybody with ICE. ICE is ridiculous. ICE needs to be stopped or at least regulated. This is nonsense. How you have American citizens being gunned down the streets. But I also want to utilize this time to point out all the police brutality that has been going on. For some odd reason, people cannot empathize with the people that have been killed by the police, but we can empathize with credit. So I want people to utilize this same empathy. If it's valid credit, I have empathy for credit too. But we need to utilize this same passion that we have right now to rectify all of this. We need to fix what's going on with ICE. We need to fix police brutality and all this other stuff. Work together. Work together as a class, not as identity, as not as a race. Just work together as a class. If we work together as a class, lower middle class, we will rule whatever we have to rule. But as long as we keep on falling to these people's devices, letting these people's propagandas and tools divide us, using racism to divide us, using money and all kinds of other nonsense to divide us, all these little culture wars to divide us, we're always going to be fighting each other instead of fighting a true battle. These people that are taking advantage of us, these billionaires that are gouging the system, that are causing this fake inflation, that are that are charging us this much for groceries and this much for a house, but our paychecks only went up by 10-15% nonsense. That's what we need to be fighting against, instead of all these stupid little culture wars that really mean nothing at the end of the day. But anyway, everybody, have a good night.
Is he still awake or is he asleep?
Shit, it's over. What? Good night, y'all.
Yeah, I knew his ass was asleep. Hey, good night, man. Greatest show on YouTube. It was nice talking to you, bro. But like I said, I'm militant, so I am what I am.
Oh, you good with me, family? Good combo, bro. Good combo. Have
Always,
a good night,
brother,
y'all.
because understand this. If the time came that I have to watch your back and to protect your back, I'm willing to do that.
Oh, we all family here, man. It's FBA, so I got your back
All
too.
day, every day, man. FBA for life, pimping. That's how I feel.
We may go about it different ways, but we got the same goal, bro.
Oh, always, brother. That's what makes it so wonderful. We got leaders and we got soldiers. We got thinkers. We got healers. That's what make it. Why you think we lasted so long under the most extreme conditions? Slavery, brother. We had to put up with that shit, and guess what? We got stronger. We didn't get weaker. We got stronger. Believe it or not, they fucked up. They bred us to be NFL athletes, NBA athletes. They bred us, and now that we're superior as far as physically, now they mad and they scared of us, and well, they should be. I'm just being honest. Inferiority complex comes from reality. They know that. So y'all have a good night. FBA all day.